Hey, hi, hello, and good afternoon. My name is Amanda, and welcome to Harmony Portal Tarot Live. Happy Woo Woo Wednesday. We are back for the second live stream in a row without missing one, which feels like progress to me. How is everybody? Check on in. Let us know that you're here. Yeah, I coughed hopefully before the live stream started, and I had to take a quick drink of water. This cough, you guys, it's like I was saying a couple weeks ago, last week. It's basically around for 2 days, and then my throat feels really good, and it's not like my throat's like, "Oh my god, it hurts so bad." It's not like that. It's more scratchy, just kinda raw from coughing, and it's not like I'm coughing constantly either. It's just when I am coughing, it's like that. TMI, disgusting, like, thick rubber cement-esque phlegm, fun times. But just tuning into my own authority, learning that the stuff that they're putting, in the weather, in the air, in the stuff is what's keeping this going. Yes, I'm living on pineapple juice right now, living on it. And it does help. It absolutely does. It's either bromine or bromelain. I always get those two mixed up. That's like the active ingredient in pineapple juice that makes things really good. Oh, and Brianna, I did start watching Stranger Things. I'm obsessed. I knew I would be. And that's why I like to wait until like pretty much all this. I think they're on the last season right now as far as like getting things rolling out. And someone said something about a secret episode, but again, I'm trying not to follow any Stranger Things anything because I don't want spoilers yet. Once I'm all the way through and maybe watch it again to like really take some mental notes. I mean, I'm already taking mental notes, but yeah. And it's really cool because it's very, very different from my book series, but also there are a lot of similarities. I'd say more like the themes of like, autonomy and freedom are definitely there underlying in Stranger Things and my series, but like the events and the world building is very, very different. But I love the show. I love it. There's so much richness to it, and that's what I'm trying to create in my book series as well. So usually when you are writing something, you might compare it. So I would maybe like when I'm trying to pitch my book or sell my book or market my book, I could say Stranger Things meets I don't know. I don't know what another comp would be, but it's not like straight up Stranger Things. Yes, there are supernatural elements to my book. There are paranormal elements. There are speculative fiction elements. There are sci-fi elements, like crazy cloning facilities and stuff. Like we're getting into it, but that's like down the line. But when you start the series, it's very much is she crazy or is she actually seeing ghosts and paranormal and things beyond the veil? And then it just kind of snowballs into I think with Stranger Things, it kind of just hits you right out of the gate, like, okay, there's some really crazy ish happening here. Um, with my series, it's like, is she crazy or are these things really happening? And then we snowball into like crazier and crazier. Not crazy as in like, am I crazy or is this really happening? But like, there you go. Yes, I think that's pretty on it. Although also book 4, wait, yes, book 4. Book 4, I was calling Project Cult, which actually takes place in 1971, but it's actually past life of one or some of the characters in the rest of the series that I'm now creating like a book 4 where we kind of step back in time and maybe have a call forward to where um to things going on. I am so excited. Like you guys, 2026 going into 2027 is my year to like be on the riding horse and not ever get off of it. Yes, I might take a day off here or there, but like as far as it's time. And it's funny because with Pluto, I'm back into human design as well. So like it's a whole thing. Like I'm on this like mission right now. With the sleeping phoenix, the cross of the sleeping phoenix energy that's coming online next year. And my main character has that as her incarnation cross, the cross of the sleeping phoenix. So she and this was not planned. This was just so synchronistic, but probably not. Like, probably my spirit knew and planned it the whole time. Like, I'd like to say I had planned to this level of nuance, but I did not. Um, so this year, yes, this year, absolutely, I am working on it. I'm about three quarters of the way through having book two fully written. Draft one, book one, it's in the third draft status as far as like fully, and then up to the fourth draft to the halfway point of the book or the midpoint. So I'm going to be finishing out the fourth draft on book one. Well, I'm going to finish book two. That's like my main goal. So I can have a full, solid draft of that and have that ready. So that is something I'm working on early in the year here. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, if I can just gain this momentum, stay to where I'm needing beta readers to read book one and give feedback. So I'll be looking for beta readers at some point, which beta reader means, so I kind of count my critique group as alpha readers, or the first people who are going to read it or give me feedback and stuff. And then I'll make any necessary changes. Usually I won't do any kind of beta read or anything until the third or fourth draft, which is solidly where I'm sitting with book one. But I've been in this same draft since 2019. Guys, it's time. What am I doing? Just spinning my wheels. I need to get it going. Oh, you're the Sleeping Phoenix too. That is why we're so like connected. I love it. I have I have a gate or two gates of that. Let me see. Let me remember what gates are associated with the Cross of the Sleeping Phoenix. Let me see. What gates are... You might actually know off the top, since you're into human design, Brianna. Gates of Phoenix. I just think even just like the name is so cool. Like, it's about to wake up. Like, it's already waking up. Let's just be honest. And that's Brianna. Brianna, going back to our collective reading and then, your personal readings you've gotten. That's why you're ahead of the curve with so many of us right now, as far as like knowing your mission, knowing your path, and like knowing steps and just kind of quantum leaping forward. That's why you're already in this energy. I freaking love that. Okay. So the Cross of the Sleeping Phoenix, the 4 gates. So it's gate 34, which I have. I have the gate 34 connected to the 57, not the 20, which is the 3420. I don't have the 20, but I have the 34 connected to the 57. And then the other gates, there's 55 and 59, which are associated with the Cross of the Sleeping Phoenix. I wanted to say I had one, or I want to say I had some of those, but I could be wrong. Let me look. I have 57, obviously, because that's connected to my 34. I have 51, 50, 57, which I already said. Maybe I don't have those ones. No, I think it was maybe just the 34 that I had of that incarnation cross itself. But the 4, so I'm the incarnation cross, or I'm the right angle cross of the 4 ways 1. I think there's like 700 and some different incarnation crosses you could have. So the fact that there's a Sleeping Phoenix in our chat is like awesome. I love that because I'm so in the vibe of that right now. I love it. Oh, late bloomers, where someone breaks down how your chart defines when your dreams will bloom. Oh, I would love that. Please send me that information. Heck yes. I love it. Varish is here. I'm just like zoned in on Brianna. I'll just give some shout outs to everybody. Kalite can't wait to read the series. Well, you guys will be you're the only place I'm talking about anything online, personally, professionally, anything. Like, this is where I do it. I don't even go on social media anymore or anything. So you heard it here first, or not at all, because I'm sure most people around the world don't give a crap what I'm doing. But yeah. Yay, you're so happy I'm watching it. Yeah, it is so fun. And my book series has all the good 90s vibes and fun. It's so fun. But also like serious. Like, we're getting serious here, but there's a lot of fun. There's a little bit of comedy in it, but for the most part, it's like serious. I'm, dropping seeds and codes of awakening in it in alignment with true spirit and the true spirit of the reader. Like I'm encoding my book with intention, my series, not just the one book, with intention for each person reading it to wake up to their highest authority, highest potential. That is my mission with this series. It's not about making money. It's not about being famous. I don't want all of that. I don't care. I just want it to get out there to those who could greatly benefit from it. And for those who can't benefit from it, I don't even want them to be aware that it exists. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm bringing this from. A place of give no Fs, but for those that do give Fs, please, silver platter, take this these codes of awakening in alignment with your exact spirit, because it's just coming through nuanced. Because think of it, each person will watch a series or read a book, and they will take completely different meanings and nuance and tone and theme from the book, even if the author or the creator had a very specific picture they were looking to paint. Each person is going to have nuance to that. It's not going to, everybody's interpreting it 100% exactly the same. Maybe a lot of the running themes will be interpreted, maybe 50% of everybody will get it the exact same way. But again, I think everybody's just filtering it through their own unique lens. And that is what this whole Cross of the Sleeping Phoenix is about, is being very seriously unique and authentically you, which if we look on social media, if we look online, if we look around us, people are trying to do anything but that at this point. There are so many trends, people, and that's the thing, is like, think back to the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, 60s, back. There were always trends, in the last 400 plus years of this cross of planning that we've been in human design. Sorry about my dog. He's hyped up about the Amazon truck. We've all been, following or chasing these trends, but there are certain people, like Jessa, like me, probably Brianna, probably a bunch of others of you that are here, who kind of start a trend without meaning to. You're just kind of almost unironically making trends because you authentically love something, and then maybe you kind of fall out of line with that, and you're just kind of, old news. And then the thing becomes a trend. Like every kind of business idea I've had, just in the community that I'm involved in, like my hometown and stuff, like, I was a photographer, and then all these people became a photographer like 2 to 3 years after that. I was into crystals, and then same thing. I was into tarot, kind of same thing. Like, not like, oh, I'm a trendsetter, but like, I'm just have this energy of pioneer spirit. But then I get bored with things. So then I just kind of on to the next. But the thing is, the death throes of this cross of planning, where everybody has to fit in these very rigid boxes, we're hearing the death cries and seeing the death throes of that right now with social media and the plastic surgery, and everybody following these same trends, all buying the same products, every Instagram face, everyone having to look the same, because the energy we're moving into is everybody being celebrated, and them also celebrating their own authenticity, their own uniqueness, their own just personal selves, and everybody just being very respectful and appreciative and not envious of everybody's individuality. And yes, we all have common, morals or interests or something that will maybe be the similarities that'll bring us together here or there or everywhere. But it's about us each really embodying and expressing, because we each came here with a very unique expression. Even if we have overlaps with people in our lives, like we're both into this thing, but then this other friend of mine, we both have this same exact sun sign, and we both do this thing, or whatever the case may be. There's always overlap, and that's how we can keep reuniting or uniting with each other, which I love. Yes, can't wait to read it. Yep, this year I'm doing a lot of work, and hopefully, oh my gosh, every time I say this, it seems like the universe laughs in my face, or maybe the powers that were, as I like to call them, are laughing in my face. Because there's been a lot of, I guess, resistance to me being able to bring this whole thing forward. Like, I know it in my head from start to finish, inside out, backwards, upside down, and sideways. Like, I know all of it that I need to write, and how it needs to feel, and what it needs to sound like. But there's always these obstacles that just keep getting put in my way. One was that really bad healer back in the day that She had me hovering my finger over my book 1 manuscript. Book 2 didn't exist at the time yet. I mean, it was an idea, but I hadn't written it yet. Um, she had me with my finger hovering over the delete manuscript button, and I couldn't do it because she was telling me, no, 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 music is your thing, which I love music, but I don't feel authentic. Feel like that's something I can enjoy and vibe with, but I don't feel that's my path, so to speak. And I even told her that in the time. She's like, no, 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 you need to, forget about writing and blah, blah, blah. Writing has been a core personality trait of mine, not just writing specifically, but like storytelling. Like that's who I am. I tell stories. If you know me in real life, I mean, a lot of times they're very nonlinear and complex stories that most people are like, what? What? And that's the beauty of editing and drafts and going back and over and over and over and over something. Purnavasu, Rahu, North Node, and Moon sign, return to the light. I keep coming back to it, back to it, back to it, back to it, back to it. But eventually it'll quantum leap out there and just be available. Eventually. But it has to like go back again, go back again, go back again. But every time I go back to something, it becomes stronger, stronger, stronger. I guess that's the blessing and also the curse of having my North Node, which is that like obsession, ambition in life, and my moon in Purnavasu Nakshatra. But of all the nakshatras, I think it's probably my favorite, even though there's a lot of, hardening of the stone to create the beautiful facets of it all. Because people with Purnavasu placements really come to things with a very innocent and pure intention, which I think is so beautiful. And most, if not all other nakshatras have a pretty deep shadow side to it. But Purnavasu is probably the one that the shadow of that energy is just the fact that you have to fail so many times, make so many mistakes, and then for it to all come together. But the intention at the very core and heart of Purnavasu Nakshatra is just purity and innocence and pure love. And I think that is so beautiful because this world is filled with so much crazy. So anytime I meet a Purnavasu, someone with Purnavasu Mars or Ascendant or Moon sign or North Node or South Node or any placement in Purnavasu Nakshatra, we're like instant besties. I love it. So fun. Kashvi is interested in it too, but then she got a nightmare about the flare, so asked her to stop watching it. Next night, she dreamt about a helmet from her Taekwondo dress take control of her mind. Oh my gosh. And that's the thing is, I tuning into to the energy of Stranger Things, and the people who created the series. They had a very, I'm feeling, pure intention to like get the word out about MK Ultra, and how these authorities, the Hawkins lab people, or the CIA or whatever, authority, don't have good intentions. A lot of times there are very greedy, power hungry intentions behind it. But I see the brothers that created this series just tuning into the intent behind it is literally to spread awareness, to spread the word. And whatever Hollywood has maybe done with some of, the spells and incantations and stuff with certain strobing effects and whatever, like I just always protect myself from any kind of subliminal programming, outright programming, anything like that. And you can do that with anything. Any, I mean, they're called programs for a reason, right? But that's a beautiful thing about when you know what your steps forward are and you are your own authority, you can say, no, I do not consent to that. But I really picked up these really great nuggets within it that were valuable. And it was worth me watching that program or, being in that cult or whatever the case may be, take the good with the bad. But as we get closer to 2027 and beyond, we're going to just really start to understand and know what is not meant for us anymore and start moving away from these systems of control, because the authority torch is passing from these government systems, school systems, food systems, medical systems, anything with the word system, and especially the systems. So the systems that are working, which are very far and few between, those have there's no qualm with the sleeping phoenix energy because they're already working and they're like a well-oiled machine. But I can't think of any system off the top of my head that is even working for the greater good or even the individual at all. So these systems, again, there's no hard stop to these energies. They're very ebb and flow, overlapping, but there will be a systematic, no pun intended, crumbling of these systems from the inside out. And it's going to be humanity itself and our evolution of consciousness, we already, so many of us who've been awakened for, however long, since, me personally, 2016, or if you think, awakened to the ways of how like governments and stuff, that was early 90s for me. Like I've known this kind of from a very young age, with the stepdad I had and his, I like to call him the crazy friend, Stan. He had this like fallout shelter, bomb shelter. He buried a school bus to like act as a bomb shelter. And, he was like a prepper and all this stuff. And he told us from a very young age, like, you can't trust the government. And so like I've known that a hot minute. And then I think I told you guys, but we were like in 96, we were telling the neighbor kid all about this, and we were watching this one VHS tape that Stan, this guy, dropped off at our house. Is like, you need to watch this. Within 30 minutes of what we were watching and discussing, there were black helicopters like right over my house. And I had never seen anything like that in my life. And then they came 3 other times within that month when we were very distinctly discussing things. And I had some really like big psychic phenomena going on at the time. Like I should have a story time at some point about all of that. It was insane. I could probably write about it, but none of that specifically stuff is in my book. But yeah, so much crazy going on. I love that. Let me catch up on the rest of these comments, and we'll get into a free 1-card pull for everybody who is here. And I think we're going to do a spirit animal wisdom. This was just such a fun deck to get into last live stream. So like, let's keep the party going. Yeah, going to lunch with my hubby. I'll be back for a reading if you're still on when I finish. Awesome. Well, you enjoy your time with your hubby. That's so fun. Same girl, same. Oh, I have a rant on that. I'm a little behind on comments, so maybe I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to, Jessa, but I'm sure we'll talk about it. For sure, I just swooped her close to me and said that she has authority to say no to any kind of control. Absolutely. Yeah, a lot will crumble this year. Financial for sure. Yeah, financial is a big one. And that is probably one of the biggest systems of control. And just hearing financial collapse literally puts the fear of God into most people, because it's all we've known is this form of currency. The things that we call money have been very different from one era to another era to another era, and we're going to shift again. But knowing that, it's always shaky during that revolutionary transitionary time. It's always shaky, but we always come out on the other side. We always do. We are very resilient, but we're coming out of this energy in this cross of planning that we've been in since 1615, the year 1615. So we've all been incarnated in this energy cross of planning of, having to give our power away and, operate within these very distinct systems and, trust these outside authorities with our health, our mental health, our happiness, our wellness, our money. But we're going to a place now where we're separating ourselves from those systems, and we're becoming our own authority, our own generator of money, our own. And we don't know exactly what that looks like because we've never been exactly in this energy yet. So for some people, that's going to be very difficult. If you're someone who's constantly looking outside of you for the answers, it's going to be a learning curve. And I mean, I used to be like that. And I at times still catch myself, ooh, Google, what's the answer to this? What's the answer to that? When I've proven time and time again, and I'm sure each of you have proven time and time again to yourself, when something really matters and you need the answer, like life or death, life-changing situations, you truly know inside of you what the right answer is. You don't need to ask a friend or phone, the lifelines, phone a friend, and that show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire from back in the day. But like, we know, so many of us know, but we're still in this energy of the cross of planning where we still have to kind of like dip our toe in, like, hey, do you think I'm doing the right thing? No one knows you better than you do. But of course, we like to get that validation or kind of seek that knowledge or wisdom to kind of back up what we know to be true within us. So there's no shame in that game, especially through this transitionary time. If we're kind of wanting to, remember the odd math problems in the back of the book were in there so you could check your work, make sure you got the right answer. But like 9 times out of 10 on those, I'd have it right. And then I would check and be like, okay, peace of mind. I got it right. Cool. Amanda's here. Good to see you. It's been a while. I hope you're doing well. Oh, you typed it out as I was saying it. I love it. Yeah, a lot will crumble this year. Absolutely. Yeah, talk about monitoring. Stranger Things gave me so many confirmations and chills, even the GATE program, etc. Yeah, that's very much intertwined. this information coming out about the GATE program. And I used to be in this thing in Libby called High Achievers, which was our version of GATE, I do believe. But I have these very distinct memories from even like way back, like before my sister was born. She's 22 months younger than me, so I have memories even before that. But I would just sit there and rack my brain. Like, what did we do in High Achievers? Like, I can't point to one project we did or worksheet, or like I have very distinct memories for like regular school or anything, even like grades and years before fourth grade, fifth grade when I was in that. But it was just recently that like something unlocked with the tones, the I think it's the Monroe Institute. If you just search GATE program, I think it's Wicked Mysterious. She's got a whole series on it. It just kind of, just watching that started to give me, like, I got chills just talking about it right now, to like for me to recover these lost memories, basically. Yeah. So it's kind of like recovering things that were kind of supposed to remain suppressed, but they knew, this is the thing, the people creating this or running these programs knew at some point we'd wake up. They couldn't suppress it forever. And what better time than coming into this new, the age of Aquarius, or the wave of awakening of, because the funny thing is the cross of the sleeping phoenix energy that we're moving into for the next 400 and some years after next year, is that GATE is associated, the sun part of that GATE, because it's unconscious sun, unconscious earth, conscious sun, conscious earth. Well, the sun part of that is in Aquarius at that time, the age of Aquarius. My main character's birthday is February 20th. So her sun is associated in that incarnation cross of the sleeping phoenix. So it's very cool. Love it. Yeah, you've been a storyteller since I've known you. Yeah, since I was 12 when I met you, Jessa. Yep, it's been a minute. It will not be a sun tower, but a shake, like spirit rocking things and making false systems fall away. Absolutely. And it's not an overnight thing. And so many of us that are watching right now and on the replay, we've already felt this shift, like this foundation beneath us is very unsteady for a long time now. So many of us, for our whole incarnation, like, this isn't right. We shouldn't be living like this. This feels wrong. This is unfair. Why do we have to follow these arbitrary rules? We've always kind of been questioning that authority, like, just as who we are. But it's because we were built for these times. This was not a mistake. Even if we're here, on this prison planet, or, trapped in the matrix or whatever, we knew what we were doing coming in here. So take that power back from, oh, we're trapped in this matrix. Yes, but also no, because nothing can truly contain spirit away from itself. Nothing. Maybe there can be the illusion of it for a while, right? Yes, we all fall into the Maya of this 3D reality, the Maya, the illusion, the matrix itself. But so many of us in this incarnation, or maybe following incarnations, if we keep doing this, but the energy, say you miss your shot to get out of the matrix in this life when you pass on. Well, the energy you would incarnate to in a future timeline with this new consciousness helping you, you'll most likely come in with even more memories of who you actually are and what you actually are in that next incarnation. So it's not like you can do it wrong or mess it up or miss the boat. I don't buy into that fear porn of, well, you better wake up now or you're never going to get out of here. Like, no, because the rising of consciousness on this planet, the way it is, it's just inevitable that spirit will return to spirit and the false will no longer exist. It's just the way it's going to be. All right. Yeah, I love that. Let's see. No, not a sun tower. Hello, Amanda. Hello. Yeah, I feel AI is playing a part in it, breaking down the education system and corporate jobs. Yeah, corporate America is like the epitome of, and capitalism, the epitome of the cross of planning. And it's in the death throes right now. So that seems scary because that's all we've known. We know that, you work a job, you get money, you do this, you do that. Like, that's all most people have known. But then there are outliers of us within that system who have never worked a corporate job, who have always had trouble, just blindly following these laws, these rules, just because we said so. Well, why? Why do I have to pay taxes? Why do I have to do this? Why do I have to? And of course, we have to go along to get along with the paying of the taxes and the whatevers until we learn a way out of that. Um, but like me personally, like I don't have any idea what my credit score is. I've never checked it, never had a credit card. I probably don't have credit. I don't even know how that works because it just does not and never has resonated with me, even to like get with the program and be an adult. Like I'm like, no. So I'm kind of like not even rebelling, because rebelling almost is in like resistance to it. I'm not even in resistance to it. I'm just literally bypassing it, and not in the spiritual bypass way, but like this doesn't pertain to me and who I am and my spirit and my life and blah, blah, blah. So like I'm just gonna, circumvent even going down that path. Um, but something's telling me in these next probably 10 to however many years, maybe less, maybe more, transition times, that credit scores won't be a thing anymore. The financial system is going to be completely different, for better or worse, but they are trying harder than ever now to just have this iron grip on control, and even further ensnaring us into control. But the consciousness is telling us the exact opposite, is to get out of control and be in control of yourself. And that's it. Yourself, your small family, your community, whatever. That's where you need to be the one in control of that, not some government, not some school system, not some medical, whatever. You. And that's the energy we're moving into over these next 400 and some years. So we're kind of at the precipice of it. So it's not all going to change overnight, but we're going to see radical shifts and changes, even just in our lifetimes, to get us back to our own authorities. Like it's inevitable. And that basically is saying the false matrix is collapsing. And we already can see it. Those of us with eyes to see, ears to hear, and all the fun things can see it. I mean, it's glaringly obvious that they don't have as much power and control as they want us to believe they do, or they wouldn't be screaming so loud and throwing so much spaghetti at a wall just to see what will stick with all these false flag events and pandemics and craziness that they are orchestrating. It's literally a dumpster fire, and it's almost comical at the level of just overstimulation and terror and trauma that they are producing in the news cycle just daily. And for most of our lives, those watching here, since 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and even earlier than that, it's just been about any news you hear is like, okay, we've got World War II going on. We got Vietnam. We've got the Cold War. We've got, all this stuff in the Middle East. And now we're in, these other wars. Like it's just been war after war after war. And we're moving out of that. And it's not to have some big war to move into this peace. No, it's literally just us operating on a higher frequency, which a lot of us are kind of already doing day-to-day life, that we're just vibrating right out of that reality where the war paradigm is the ruler of the day. Like we're just moving out of that, not by resisting or fighting against it with our own war, but by literally stepping into our own authority and being in alignment with our spirit. That's how we fight. Which sounds like, well, if I'm not out there, doing my part, do your part by literally aligning with who you came here to be. That is you doing your part to bring this system to its knees, literally. Do your part by literally getting selfish with your time, effort, resources, attention, money, vote with your dollar, all of these things. This is how you can be, fighting the system, so to speak, by not fighting, but instead by tuning into you and what are your unique gifts you bring to this world and what lights you up. And it's not even, well, I'm talented at this, even though I don't care to do it. I'm talented at it. So it's my responsibility to give that gift to the world. That's kind of the energy we've been in. And that's kind of like biblical. Like if you have a talent, it's your God-given, not right, but duty to give that to people. Yes, you can charge for it or whatever, but like you're supposed to go down that road. But the paradigm we're moving into is what lights me up, what brings me joy, what just sets my soul on fire in the best possible way. Anything that falls short of that is a hell no. Going to some corporate grind job that you hate, if it's not a hell yes, I mean, there are people out there that thrive and love that environment, and that's perfect for them. But that's not perfect for, you or you or you or you, this other person. And that's what the nuance of it is, and those of us with ADHD, maybe our like thing that lights us on fire and sets our spirit free is different from month to month, year to year, day to day, even minute to minute sometimes. But following your inner authority. So if you don't know what your inner authority is, a good place to start would be to look into your human design chart. You can run a free chart online and then look at what your authority is, and then start living in alignment with that authority, or at least as best as you can. And you're going to see some massive shifts in your life if you can live in alignment with your inner authority. And I have a sacral as a generator, pure generator. I have a sacral authority. So to me, how I can know what's in alignment for me is for someone to ask me yes or no questions. And my husband's kind of gotten good at this. Is like, do you want to do this? And I won't say yes or no. I'll just go uh-huh or uh-uh. That's called the sacral, me using my sacral authority to know. And sometimes my uh-huh or my uh-uh goes against what my head would think would be, well, actually, I do want to do that. But apparently my spirit is saying a different thing, you know? And it takes practice, because a lot of times we want to get our mind involved in, okay, what's the best answer? What's the decision here? So you almost have to get into a rhythm, almost kind of hypnotized, but not hypnotized, but kind of into a rhythm, like asking yourself questions that don't really have any weight to them. Like, do you like blueberry muffins? Is green your favorite color? And then allowing the generator, if you're the generator, to respond with uh-huh or uh-uh, and do that for like 20, 30 questions until you kind of get into a rhythm of it, and you're not letting your mind get involved. You're just answering uh-huh or uh-uh. But again, this only works if you're a sacral authority. If you're anything else, it's going to be different for you. Like manifesting generators. My son Boston's a manifesting generator. Like he needs he's an emotional manifesting generator. So he needs like time and space to kind of come to his decisions. Whereas mine's almost instantaneous. But I need to trick my mind or bypass my mind to get to the answer. I can't use my mind to get the answer. It has to come from the gut, the intuition, the sacral energy. Anyway, just some helpful FYIs. I wonder if the gate program now is different, because it's not the same old dog and pony show of the Wild West of the 80s, 90s, and even early 2000s, where they were literally doing CIA experiments on kids in schools with or without permission. Yeah, it's crazy. But a lot of the gifted and talented programs now actually are, okay, we're in this like elite math, whatever. We're in this science thing. We're in this like, they're actually doing those things. At least when I tune in to the energy of the quote unquote the gate kids of the, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, the way they were operating it doesn't exist anymore, because they don't need to do it that way anymore, because they can literally, there's something they've done with nanotechnology that they can literally tune into anyone's field from anywhere. Like they could, and they can even use AI to run these tests or programs or whatever to tune into your energy field and see what you can do and what you can't do and what you know and what you don't know. They don't need to go through the rigmarole of, hooking you up to these machines and doing all these things anymore. And they probably haven't. 2006 is the year that just came into my mind. And I have no idea. I have no idea from like any textbook I can point. I mean, not that they're documenting this in textbooks, but like CIA documents or whatever. But intuitively, 2006 was when they stopped doing this the way they were doing it. Now it's just maybe worse, because it's just AI running these algorithms on the greater population at any given time, maybe all the time. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Maybe that's a cosmic question for Friday, because we're going to do that Friday. Cosmic Question Corner. I'm excited. Who's excited? I'm excited. Yes, and it is the year of the sun, and a year number 1, and the year of the fire horse. That we've got a lot of like passionate, fiery, let's go type of energy. Just in the astrology, numerology energy, it's very prevalent, and a lot of people can feel it. And even if we're still kind of feeling like blah or ill from, last year's kind of whatever they were spraying in the sky to get everybody ill and sick. But yeah. Hi, Lord Tay, 19. We're going to be pulling some cards here very shortly. I was just catching up on some comments. And we did have one one donation so far that we'll get into after we do our polls. But I'm going to catch up on comments, and then we're going to get right into it. I'll give you guys a secret password. And it's not that you have to post a question or anything. You can kind of just keep your question in your mind. And then hopefully the card, you can set the intention that the card that I pull for you will answer the question that you have, or give you some insight or guidance or something about whatever question you have. So for sure, with all the drama happening in the world, my answer is I am here on the authority of my spirit and the pure source creator. So people may do whatever to control me. I am an authority. There you go. I love it. It's almost like the illusion of allowing these authority figures to think they still have authority. They're going to be the last to know. That's the funny thing here. They think they're, they've been orchestrating and pulling all these strings this whole time. They're going to be the last to know that they've lost, because we are literally going within. And again, with kind of that whole internet thing, if you guys missed, I did a whole presentation on the internet. It should be in my playlists, webinar playlist tab. Playlist tab, webinars is the playlist. And we talked about the internet. And I think if you watch, there's two other ones that kind of really set the stage for the internet talk that we have. One is just about AI in general. And then one was the root of AI being demonic. And then we go into an explanation of all of that. If you guys missed that and want to check those webinars out, they're on this channel, but go to the playlist tab, go to webinars, and then you can watch any of the webinars that we have. And there's a few webinars I think I maybe forgot to put in that playlist when I was looking. I need to do some like housekeeping and get some, my big like editing, photo and video editing computer still not hooked back up since like July. So I need to like get my life together, and like get my little workspace set up out there so I can like do the housekeeping I need to do. And I have some fun things planned just to get things fresh and fun and moving, and make some little changes here on the live stream. Nothing major that's going to like change the whole vibe of it, but like just little improvements and little tweakments that we can do to make this a little more fun and exciting and maybe prettier. Because who wants to look at a 11-year-old boy's bedroom background? Not me. I mean, it's not doing anything for me. In fact, it's making me quite bored. And I feel bad for you guys. There's nothing fun and pretty to look at in the background, but that will hopefully change sometime this year. We'll get to it. Anywho, I just am talking today. I apologize. Normally by 20 minutes in, we're ready to go on our one card pull. But those of you who are still here, you're guaranteed to get a one card pull if you're still here, because we're just catch up on comments and then we're going to get right into that. But Lorte, hello, welcome. I don't know that I've seen you here before, or if I have, maybe it's been a long time ago. So welcome or welcome back, however that works for you. How one card pull works. Yes, she will give a code to put in the chat. And if you would like a one card pull, then she will draw a card for you. Yeah, we just kind of do them in order. And if for some reason your order, like, I don't know, if the word, that's not the password today, but just as an example, if it's 444, maybe Versha types it and then Lore types it, and on and on and on, but maybe you guys see it in a different order. But I'll do kind of a roll call at the end. Like if I've skipped people before, it happens, but I always like to check in and make sure we got everybody that wanted a card. It's pretty straightforward. But yeah, we're going to get into that very shortly here. Yeah, the message will be in accordance with what Spirit would like you to know. Don't be sad if it's not about what you want to know. Also, many times other readings feels as if it's meant for us. Yeah, that's the beauty. Attention goes, energy flows. Spend your time, pay attention. There's a message. Wherever your consciousness is going, there's something you can gain or use as wisdom or an example or a mistake, knowledge, wisdom, whatever. I was doing a course from Carrie Kay, and what you were talking about, reality, etc. She went in depth about. Oh, I love that. Yeah, the synopsis was everything is a simulation. What becomes reality is where your attention. That's what I've been trying to shout from the rooftops since I started my first tarot channel, The Done Creative, back in 2019. That's all if there's one takeaway anyone can take, is that literally where your attention goes, that is going to be the reality you're creating. So if you're constantly worried about the economy, you're going to get things to worry about. And I know that sounds so spiritually bypassy, but like reality is not as stable and structured as we think it is. It's very fluid. It's very chaotic. And we can choose. It's like a choose your own adventure on steroids. Like there are so many unlimited options of choice. It's just about tuning into spirit and allowing the spirit to tell you this is a better timeline or that's the better timeline or whatever, and then to live in alignment with your spirit. And human design can help you do that because it tells you the best way you can utilize your personality, your ego, your body, your spirit to get all in alignment and allow your spirit to use your ego rather than your ego to use your spirit, which is how most people operate, is your ego using your spirit or just completely ignoring the spirit and driving very, very recklessly, might I add, your ego driving. But when you are using your spirit to inform your ego, that's the way it should be. It's not that in this 3D reality that our ego can completely disappear, because it does keep us safe in a lot of ways. It does. Not that our spirit doesn't, it obviously does too, but the ego is very, street smart, so to speak, as far as the ins and outs of trying to keep us safe here on this matrix in ways that the spirit is more love and light about things. The ego definitely has a place and a role. It's just not in the driver's seat. I'd say it's somewhere near the back of the bus, but we definitely need it on the bus. At least in the current energy. Maybe eventually we will phase that ego completely out. But it's needed and necessary in small doses as we move forward, at least for now. Yeah. I went into the human design in 2022, 2023, and then moved on from it. Yeah, I've been dipping my toe in. I like went way in like 2021, early to mid 2021, and then early 2022, like pretty much like at the start of every year, kind of going in toward March, I like get back interested in it again. And then something always happens in the external to like, ooh, look, shiny squirrel. Like I'm off on something else, but like I want to create some sort of human design practice where I'm constantly tuning into my own authority, because it's just really a spiritual practice if you look at it. It's not that I have to sit there and study all the gates and know everything about human design, but just knowing about your own human design is going to give you at least a nice little blueprint for what you can do to best align with the energies of the matrix to get yourself out of the matrix, if that makes sense. Yeah, I read that one. Always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I didn't want a career, but when I found one, it set my soul. Yeah, you just never know. You just never know. Yeah, website reference for the free human design might help everyone. Oh yeah, let's see. Well, there's a free one. I want to say it's unlock human design. Yeah, free human design chart and report. And I think they may get your email. So if you want to do this, maybe use a burner email, or you can unsubscribe or whatever. That's, I think, a free one, or you can just Google or Yandex or whatever, free human design chart, where you don't have to set up your email or anything. I'm sure there's something available out there. Or the one I use that was my paid whatever has stopped. It's geneticmatrix.com. I want to say they do free charts there as well. So let me copy that link for you guys. But that's probably my favorite way to do it. I've done both. I've done my chart on both, and maybe you want to do them on multiple ones if you feel so inclined. But those are there. You don't have to click on them now unless you feel the need to, but they'll be there in the chat. As far as when we are at about 48 minutes in, they'll pop up in the chat on the replay. Okay, so yes, code suggestions for the one card pull, 1111 or year one. Ooh, I love that. Maybe we'll do that. Yeah, put in 1111. There you go. Put in 1111 in the chat. It can just be 4 ones or 11:11. However you want to write it out, it'll count. And that'll let us know that you want a free one card pull. And I'll catch up on these last few comments, and then we're going to get into the free one card pulls. Yes, we will. That's an awesome suggestion. May I maybe increase the cost or stick to the timer? Right. I keep thinking I need to do that. I did pretty good for most of the readings on last Friday. I did pretty good. But I'm pretty darn chatty today, so who knows? It's probably going to be your full read is going to be like 2 full reads, and then I'm going to try to stick to the timer, though. I'm going to try really hard. Oh, you continue to see 1111 lately. Does anyone know what that means? It's basically brass tacks. Bottom line of it is codes of awakening. It just means that your spirit is coming online even more. That number's been following me around since I was 2 years old. No kidding. Yep. I would always say 11, 11, make a wish as a little kid and a teenager and early 20s, early 30s. And then I started like my Kundalini awakening at age 34. 34, yes. Wow. 9 years ago. Holy cow. Almost 10 at this point. I'm old now. Yep. I don't feel old though. And I don't think I look old. So like age is just so relative. Who cares? My throat feels old today. But that's about it. Excuse me. Yeah, my inner understanding. Oh, as per my understanding, numbers are just not limited to one explanation. Yeah, and of course, if you have a very specific thought process or feeling, vibe about what that means for you, of course, take that over what Amanda said about codes of awakening, because that's more relevant to you than anything. Absolutely. Hobie water for sale. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Yeah, so for me, when numbers sequences appear, I just accept them as codes of activation and go ahead with my day. Else, if you go into analysis, it's more ego and mind-based or spirit. Yeah, and of course, if you're just kind of on the beginning of your spiritual journey, I don't think there's anything wrong with Googling or asking people, well, what does this mean? What does that mean? It's all part of your process, And then as you've been on the journey for a while, some people don't really, maybe they'll make note of, okay, I saw 444 today. And maybe they'll have their own internal intuitive nudge about what that means without having to go to Google or ask somebody about what that would mean. You just start to, I kind of call them like spiritual training wheels, I guess, when we start to learn about these things. And then of course, so many of us get ensnared in that new cage trap of, there's just basically this cattle chute once someone awakens and they go online and start Googling, what does 1111, seeing 1111 mean? What is the dark night of the soul? What is this? What is that? And we kind of just get cattle chuted into this like new age movement. But then many of us will find our way back out of the new age movement and just kind of feeling lost again and then finding our footing. But again, it all goes back to tuning into your spirit. What is your spirit telling you? And in order to find that out, it's really difficult in this very distracting, busy grind of a world that we live in. So it's going to be very important and imperative that you separate your energy from the greater collective and get out in nature if you can, or just make time for your spiritual practice. And the spiritual practice is going to look different for everybody. So what lights you up, spiritually speaking, and makes you feel very connected to your spirit, and then go in that direction. Because it's different for everybody. Certain people can meditate great. Other people need to be like more like a walking meditation. Other people can't meditate at all. So like whatever floats your boat, spiritually speaking. Yeah, I love that. Welcome, welcome. Okay, we have some 1111s on the board, so let's get right into it. So we're at 52 minutes and 58 seconds, say 53 minutes on the nose. So we'll probably go to about an hour and 13 minutes of the live stream. So, I mean, we only have a handful of people, probably 9 people. Let's see, how many 11s do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 so far. Okay. So it shouldn't take us too long to get through this. And anyone just joining us, if you'd like me to pull you a free 1-card pull, if you have a question in mind, you don't have to post it. You can kind of just keep it in your mind and see if the card that we pull and the advice or wisdom or guidance that comes through aligns with whatever. Okay. So here we go. And I'm going to try to just keep these under about a minute or so, just to keep it moving, keep it flowing, keep it going. So Versha for Kashvi's card today, in alignment with her true spirit, we have Giraffe, the bigger picture. Take a step back and gather your thoughts and feelings. This could even look like her kind of creating some goals or some like outlines, big plans that she might have, or maybe even you, Versha, just asking her like, what would you like to see your life look like this year? Or, what do you want to accomplish at school, or just personally, or with your creativity, or with your hobbies, or with our family? And just kind of getting a dialogue going. It doesn't have to be detailed, because this is just more about like overarching themes or bigger picture here. And then the spirit animal of Giraffe might also be very important to her at this time, or even just each of you that are getting a card today, you can Google what the animal medicine or spiritual animal totem of that animal or insect or whatever it is is, and that can be just some additional homework if you feel so inclined. But to me, this is about kind of, with like the eagle flying above and seeing the bigger picture. The giraffe has that higher perspective of the bigger picture of things, and just being able to see from a different vantage point. So it's kind of giving a little bit hanged man energy as well. All right, so that was for Kashvi. Amanda, let's get Amanda a card. In alignment with her true spirit, what does she need to know? We have the lion. Funny, the first two are like safari, like African animals. I love that. We have the lion with honor, and we have honor your soul and celebrate its journey. And this is about honoring time and space in your life for the things that bring you joy, that light you up, that feel like they are part of your journey, not the things that feel like the obstacles in the journey. Because we kind of have like a rock in front of him, kind of almost acting as an obstacle. But the nice thing about this lion is he knows he can just easily walk around that and just continue on his way. He doesn't need to wait for someone to come around and remove this rock out of his way. He's going to be the one to decide, I'm going to, detour or divert my path into something that's not just what the matrix has set out for me or what my boss or these other people have set out for me. What's in alignment for me? And I'm going to honor what my spirit, my soul, my spirit want for me and this journey. So this could also look like you making some plans or making some shifts or changes that will help you feel more like you're on your spiritual path, Amanda. All right, let's get Marlene a card. Excuse me. Marlene, in alignment with her true spirit, what does Marlene need to know right now? Well, the third one is also a safari animal. We have a giraffe, yet again, that bigger picture. Maybe this is just kind of a theme today, or just kind of in the near future here, of just kind of getting a loose game plan. It doesn't have to be detailed. It doesn't have to be specific, but it's just, I understand the way, for you specifically, Marlene, the way that I've been doing things, or these certain habits or whatever. And again, it doesn't have to be specific, but like, I know just by this time every day, I feel kind of blah, or, just kind of pinpointing like the specific, not the specifics, but like a few nuances of like what's going on. And then you can start to see like a road map of a bigger picture of, okay, I think maybe this habit or this specific thing is what's contributing to me feeling this very specific way. So you may be taking a bit of time off, or even just time for yourself if you're not taking days off or anything, but just like an hour to yourself to, tune into your spirit, however that looks. But this is about you gathering your thoughts, your feelings. Maybe you're doing some journaling here as well, to really be able to see the bigger picture of what it is you're aiming for or looking to achieve this week, this month, this year, however farther into the future. Because this can even be like an overarching, like, what do I want my life to look like 20 years from now? When you have that big picture energy coming in, what do you want to create as like a life legacy? Like, you can go big with it, and not be so general, or not general, but so specific with it, if that makes sense. But in looking at the big picture, a lot of times that's when the specifics will start to jump out at you, which is really beautiful. All right, Banana Anna S, let's get you a card. What does Anna need to know? We have two or three? Two, three. We have three. Oh, and they're all so pretty together. Anna, you hit the jackpot. We have Peacock with self-love. Time to celebrate you and all your magnificent light. I love that. I mean, that's kind of just self-explanatory, right? But you can also look up any of these animal totems or spirit animals as well for additional guidance. Deer is about trust. Approach the situation with a light heart, especially when it comes to your own self, your own desires, your own happiness, your own sense of self-love, all of that. Trusting in your own self. Again, it's really giving, trusting your true spirit over what some outside person of you is telling you. When someone says, oh no, this is the way it is, but then there's something within you, Anna, that's like, that just doesn't sit right with me. I don't believe that. Trust yourself over that external whatever, even if they have all the degrees, all the accolades, all the accomplishments, and you feel like you've done nothing. Trust your inner authority over what they're saying. And then we also have the tiger with divine timing. Good things come to those who wait. But this is not about you sitting around resting on your laurels. This is you setting the stage, taking that inspired action when you felt inspired to apply for that job, or look into moving over here, or, really connecting with that friend or that relationship. Just taking inspired action as it comes, will start to add up to you feeling like, okay, this feels like it was destined to be, or there was divine timing at play. So there may be something that you've already kind of set the stage for, you've taken your action steps with it. Maybe you're now kind of stepping back and waiting for something to happen. Again, that doesn't mean you're resting on your laurels. You're ready for this thing to happen because you've already put in the time, the effort, the work on something. And you're going to see it start to play out here. I see in the next 2 weeks or so, Amanda. So Anna, God, Anna, very fun. As in Banana Anna S. All right. Did I skip Amanda? Is that why I just tuned into her name? No, I did not. I'm like, wait. So I did Kashfi. I did Amanda. I did Hey, aka Marlene, and I did Anna. So now we're going to Florence B. And I did see a while back that Florence also has donated. So we have Versha and Florence so far on our donation list today. Sorry, my eye itches. Left eye, left eye is feminine energy, right is masculine energy. All right, so Florence, let's get a card in alignment with Florence's true spirit, what Florence needs to know right now. What is with the giraffe today? You guys saw me shuffle. This is a very big collective theme for those of you that it is coming out for. The bigger picture, just getting a hint of, okay, what do I want things to look like? I mean, do I keep, quote unquote, beating the dead horse? I hate that expression, but if you've heard one instance of this, you've heard it all. Let's see if we can bring through very specific energy for Florence. Okay, so this might look like planning some sort of trip. This could be more metaphorically speaking, like your trip through life, your journey through life. But just kind of coming up with a few loose goals or plans or concepts or ideas that you can just kind of write down or think about, that you can then start to eventually, you'll get that kind of almost inspired action that we're picking up in Anna's reading, to be able to move forward when the time is right on planning this specific trip, or being in this specific relationship, or this work project, or whatever the case may be for you specifically. But this is right now just about getting kind of a loose outline of where you kind of are wanting to direct your energy, especially over this next year or so. The experiences you want to have, the goals you want to hit, just what you want life to look like. And of course, life be lifing out here and throwing wrenches in gears and making us feel like we never have any control. But when you can at least have some sort of game plan and navigation, at least when you know your destination or that goal that you have in mind, and even if you have a detour or you get rerouted, you still know where your destination is. Metaphorically speaking. I mean, it could be literally, but this is about having some ideas that you can then start to have, once you have that big picture idea, you can then start to kind of work backwards or almost reverse engineer the more detailed expression of how that bigger picture looks for you specifically, Florence. All right, so for Versha, get Versha's card in alignment with true spirit. What does Versha need to know right now? You see me shuffling. All right, we have the starfish. Ooh, how beautiful. Very watery energy here. Intuition. Yeah, I thought that was the one with the line through it. I'm like, oh, I think that's water. This is definitely water. It looks like a chalice, right? A little upside down triangle. Intuition. So Versha, listen to your soul's truth. Think less, feel more. So when you're feeling emotions rise up, if you're upset, if you're happy, if you're whatever the emotion is, your homework, I guess, coming through is for you to just put your hands on your heart, close your eyes, and really allow yourself to feel that emotion. Even if it's not a great emotion like anger or sadness, excuse me. But when we actually stop in our tracks and allow ourselves to feel even those yucky, more negative emotions, it actually allows us to process, maybe not mentally, but with our energy field, we process that emotion and then we can let it go. We usually don't have to do this with the positive emotions because we're just so in the moment with it that we just allow it naturally to do its thing. But when it's negative, 9 times out of 10, if not 10 times out of 10, so many of us will like try to push it down, or I don't have time for this crap, and I can't feel angry right now because I'm in the middle of a meeting and if I got to put on a happy face. We are taught just to exist in society that we have to suppress our emotions or hide how we truly feel, or, now's not the time. So this is about as close to when you're feeling the emotion, Versha, to allow yourself to feel it. because you're intuitively working through a lot of just past programming, stagnancy, trauma from the past, and you're allowing through these emotions it to move on. And I'm seeing that emotions are energy in motion. And if you want to allow the letting go of emotions, traumas, just stuff that's built up in your energy field that doesn't need to be there anymore. One of the greatest vehicles for this to exit stage left will be on your emotions. So if you can allow yourself to feel those emotions in the moment, you can allow yourself to offload, energetically offload the things that just aren't serving you. Kind of, again, the peeling or the letting go, the removing of that energy, because it's not who you truly are. So you're just allowing yourself to feel it, feel that old coat as you slide it down your arms to take it off. And that's all you have to do. You don't have to analyze it or process it in a mental way. A lot of people, when we go to talk therapy and stuff, that's exactly what we do. Nothing wrong with it, but when that's the only way that we're doing things and we're not actually just allowing the energy field to do it for us, we can almost just keep hooking ourselves back into that, if that makes sense. But trust your intuition right now, Versha. Solar Siren 209. Let's get Jessa a card. What does Jessa need to know right now in alignment with true spirit? Here we go. The Fox. Close to wolf energy, but not quite. We have shadow work. There are no shadows without light. And look at the beautiful night sky here. We've got kind of I don't know, it's at least a 3/4 moon, if not a full moon going on, but it's kind of obscured because of the clouds and what's going on here. But the fox is very clever. They find ways around just what's going on. And with shadow work here, this is not about focusing on shadow work specifically, but it's more about, really utilizing that sun. We're in a sun year, all of us right now. But you yourself are also in a universal year one, personal year one. That sun energy is very bright for you in your career, obviously. So just allow the light to shine, and that will dissolve the shadows naturally. So it's not like you have to go in and do all this ritualistic work or shadow work or, spell work or any of that. It's more just about shining that light, doing what lights you up, doing what brings you joy, following that joy, and that in and of itself will dissolve the shadows or remove just these false coats that just don't need to be in your energy field anymore. There it is. And it's interesting because my whole tune on this is maybe kind of just a general message for everybody out there. My whole tune on shadow work has slightly shifted. It's not to say that the human collective doesn't have shadow aspects. It does. But so much of that human collective shadow is not actual spiritual shadow. It's human matrix shadow that was programmed into us, kind of like you've all been born sinners. So like you're already unworthy the second before you even take your first breath. So it's like, is it even our fault? Is it even something we should integrate into our spirit? My thoughts have kind of changed on that. So it's almost more of a shine your light or peel off, peel what actually isn't your true essence, and it falls away. There's no need to integrate it. You literally just peel it off, if that makes sense. Maybe we have to do a deeper dive into the whole, do we integrate the shadow or do we just allow it to slough off? Just some food for thought there. All right. Because I used to be all about the shadow work, and like so many of us get in that new cage trap of, just being so much in shadow work that we're in dark nights of the soul more than we're not. And it just becomes this like vicious cycle. And my thoughts have slightly changed on that, actually. Yeah. All right. Lord, hey, let's get, whoa. Okay. Holy cow. All right. Well, we did have a stack fall here, but it's funny because there was a whole bunch that fell on the desk, but there was one that fell, and I always call this slippery energy. So it's not impossible to have this come forward, but it's going to take a lot of effort and work, most likely, or it's just not going to be as simple as showing up and then the thing coming in. It's going to take a lot of effort and work. And you have the butterfly card, which is beautiful, but this is about emerging. So this is about sharing your true feelings, your true thoughts, your truth, basically. But it's not going to be easy because the butterfly has to start out as that egg and then go into the caterpillar stage and then be in the chrysalis where it literally creates itself into this goo and then redesigns itself into this butterfly, and then it's the fight of its life to come out of this chrysalis. And if, some outside force comes in and does the work for the butterfly's wings won't strengthen enough to be able to thrive and live its best life as the butterfly. So this is really showing this almost having to go through all these different phases and stages and doing the heavy lifting yourself rather than expecting something or someone outside of you to come in and do that heavy lifting or do that major work. But it's going to pay off, and it's going to be like this leap of faith in this new direction. So there may be a new direction you're going, that is going to take a lot of effort and a lot of work here, Lore, but it's going to be very worth it. And you actually getting in, rolling in up your sleeves and doing the heavy lifting and doing the dirty work is going to pay off exponentially for you. And I actually see this as kind of almost like a theme of the year for you, of just sometimes we don't really know what we want, but we know what we don't want, or what we don't know what would work for us, but we know what's no longer working for us. But we sometimes kind of just keep doing the thing that's no longer working because we don't know another way until we do. And then when we know better, we do better. So that's kind of a theme coming up for you this whole year, Lore, is to really go deep within you to find these truths or these ideas, these ways forward, because you're maybe not going to find it out in the world. Not to say you can't be inspired or validated by something outside of you, but a lot of what you have coming forward for you is coming from your spirit, to then be reflected in the external reality. All right, I love that. Very cool. Kalite, let's get Kalite's message. Angel numbers that I got tangled in when I started, and the archangel stuff. Same girl, same. We all, maybe not all of us, but a lot of us do kind of fall into that. And there's no shame, because I've learned a hell of a lot. Okay, if I could go back and say, let's not experience this, that would be great. But I can't. So why wish it away? Let's just say, okay, I've learned some massive, what's the word? Massive lessons from getting entangled in the whole Archangel Michael thing and all of that. Would I ever want to go back and experience it again? F to the no. But now that I know better, I'm gonna way do better. You know how it is. Okay, Kalite, let's go. Let's go for Kalite. That might even be your kind of theme for the year. Let's freaking go. Yes, Jessa, my friend Solar Siren here, and I were just chatting the other day, LFG, let's effing go. I love that for all of us. Okay, Kalite. LFG for Kalite. What does Kalite need to know in alignment with her true spirit? We have Flamingo. This is beautiful. I actually saw a thing the other day about flamingos are returning to their nesting or roosting or whatever flamingos do to mate and all that. In Florida, for the first time in over 100 years, they're starting to return. And then we have Unity Heart here. You're being called to work on a collective healing. But this does not mean you have to forego your own personal healing to then go out and heal the collective. In fact, it's the opposite. As you heal yourself or use your own trauma, your own past, your own ancestry, your own whatever garbage, issues, obstacles, whatever that looks like for you, as you go in and work on sloughing away or healing or peeling, whatever that looks like for you, your own issues, that will work as a healing for the collective. So any art that you create as you are working through your own trauma, your own past, your own whatever, is going to infuse this element of healing or unity within those who consume your music or listen to you speak, or who are friends with you or family that you talk with. You healing yourself is a healing light for the rest of the world. And I love your username Kalite. It just lights up a room. It's like a light bulb coming on in the darkness, and it's just so beautiful and so worthy. So there's something maybe that you are doing this year, maybe a project, maybe even a collaboration, because I'm seeing a collaborative effort of you and one other person, maybe a couple other people coming together, or 2 to 3 different factions. So maybe groups of people somehow coming together to create this unity heart here to heal the collective. But it's in you doing what's in your best interest, and then the people you're collaborating with, them doing what's in their best interest, and everyone doing what's in their best interest coming together is only going to be in the best interest of everybody else. It's kind of like you fill your cup up and you're giving from the overflow, you can't not give anything but abundance and overflow. But when we're pouring from those empty cups, it comes with strings attached, or resentment, or guilt, or shame, or whatever. You're filling your cup to be able to fill the cups of the world, is really what's coming through. This is a powerful message here, Kalite. I love that. I love that. And pink, like kind of that like soft flamingo pink might be like, it's not quite pink. It's kind of a pinky orange, like a coral, like a light coral color that is the color of the flamingo. That might be a power color for you this year with like lipstick. I know that might be, you know, for me that might work, but for, you know, different people have different colors that really work for them. And then others are like, ooh, that would not be a great lipstick. But maybe it's like a bracelet you're wearing or a headband or, you know, whatever. But like a light kind of peachy, pinky coral would be a great, great color for you as a power color this year. I love it. All right. New love. Let's get you a card, my dear. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. A card in alignment with new love's true spirit. What does new love need to know right now? Oh, how fun. We have the frog stepping into your power. Don't take a back seat to your story. It's time to step up. So if you have found new love that you've been living as like a supporting or side character in the story of your own life, now is the time. This is the year. This is the month. This is the week. This is the day for you to step into that main character energy. And it's not that you're saying F what everyone else wants, but it's instead saying, well, what is it I want? Kind of like we were getting with that message with Kalite, but as you really tune into what lights you up, what's your personal power, this really is kind of a theme today and kind of for the year ahead with that sun energy. Is it can appear selfish on the surface. It can appear selfish. Oh, well, she's too good to hang out with us. She's busy writing that book, or she's busy creating those songs, or she's busy you know, creating that business, or whatever it is that she or he is doing right now. They're just keeping all their energy for themselves, and it's rude and it feels sad. But the thing that this person or people, or in this case for you, new love, you are pouring all of this effort, love, time, effort, attention, this, that, and whatever into your own project, your own self-love, your own whatever it is you're focused on, can only benefit the greater of humanity because you're coming from a very authentic place. So you stepping into your power and stop taking a back seat. Even when you're at work or you're in dynamics where maybe the person that you're, you know, is a family member or a friend, or if you're in a union with somebody, and normally you're kind of just go along to get along. Now maybe you're going to start stepping up and having a couple of opinions here and there. And that might be off-putting to people who've gotten used to kind of using you as a doormat, or, you know, something they could walk all over, or what have you. You're kind of just stepping into your power by standing up for yourself. Maybe this even looks like stepping away from certain people, groups, communities where you just don't feel the love anymore, or maybe you never did. Because as you step into your power, you will start to see the things that light you up, and you'll start attracting those groups, communities, jobs, opportunities, whatever the case may be, that really feel like home to you. And not home in like a comfy, cozy way, but home like a let me roll up my sleeves and really make something happen here kind of way. It's like a fixer-upper home, but in the best possible way, because, you know, there's comfy and cozy is great, but there's not a lot of growth that happens from comfy cozy. So for you, I'm really seeing new love this year. This is a year for you to, yes, have those moments of comfy cozy, but then get back out there, roll up your sleeves, do the hard things, get out of your comfort zone, because it's really going to start bringing you this sense of personal power like you've never known. It's really powerful. And as I drop a bunch more cards, let me pick these up. Excuse me. Sorry, my throat is doing the thing it does. Okay. Let's see. Canary's here. Welcome, Canary. Let's get you a card. In alignment with Canary's true spirit, what does Canary need to know right now? We have also the flamingo card. I don't know why I felt the need to sing that. Maybe you're singing. I know Kalite does music, but she got this card just a bit ago here, a couple rounds ago. But this may be, there's a very powerful voice element here, because this beautiful flamingo is resting in this very blue, very throat chakra colored energy here. And there's almost like this vortex going on around. So I'm seeing that you being able to create this vortex of intention with what you speak. So be careful, actually, what you're speaking. Again, it doesn't have to be like the whole year, but like the energy that you're currently in, like, oh, my back is killing me. My throat hurts, be careful what you're saying, because you're solidifying these things. You're like literally spelling, when we spell out words, when we say words, especially if we say them more than once, like 3 times or more, we're really solidifying that as our, reality, because we're putting thought and intention and feeling behind it. Oh, my throat hurts. My back is killing me. It's like, no, we don't want to manifest more of that. We can acknowledge that, yes, I'm not feeling my best right now, but I'm going to rest and heal and, do what I need to do. But there is this collective energy of healing for so many of us right now. So it's no, what's the word? No exception for you as well. But as you heal your kind of all the things we were talking about for Collite, you heal your personal, self, or you work on your own stuff, even if that looks selfish. Again, that's going to seem in a sun year, in a 1 year, a lot of people are kind of going to be doing their own thing. Doesn't mean we can't come together and vibe and, relax with each other. We can. But a lot of people are going to be very purposeful in a new mission, potentially, because it's new energy. So either they're picking something off the back burner and running with it, or starting something completely new. And even if you're kind of doing a mix of both, you're picking this one thing, this habit that you were trying to form, but it kind of fell off the wheels. You're picking that back up, but then you have this whole new opportunity, kind of right in tandem. You're healing whatever needs to be healed, and really creating a beautiful space for that new habit to take root, that new opportunity to start, for you to have a starting point with a new opportunity. And as you do this, it really does open up. A lot of the people around you are almost just inspired by you this year, Canary. I love that. I have chills. I was asking her to stop and think about the bigger picture like a storyboard. She is the giraffe among the wolf and dog packs in school and community. Absolutely. And because, giraffes look and not saying she looks different from everybody, but like just the vibe and the energy of a giraffe is so much different from all the wolves and dogs, right? In the packs. Like a giraffe is standing there. It's going to stand out like a sore thumb, energetically speaking. So that makes a lot of sense. It really does. But that doesn't mean she's wrong for being there, or they're right for excluding her or thinking she's so wrong or whatever. No, she's exactly where she needs to be, doing exactly what she should be doing. And I love that. I mean, it's not always easy, but she's gonna make a splash, so to speak. I'll ask her to look into it for sure. Oops, my chat just jumped. I gotta scroll down. Where are we going? I think I've already gone way past the time. Knowing me, that's what I do, apparently. Okay, so we did Canary. You're so welcome, Amanda. Absolutely. Collective message for the beginning of the year. Yes, it really does feel like that. Kind of life review before going forward. You did her reading. Yes. Okay, I thought so. I was like, okay, wait a second. No, I think I did. Yeah, thanks. Thank you. Those make a lot of sense for my future. Low energy today with sinus issues. Yeah, doing a cleanse and pondering a lot. I needed a little love. That helped. Aw, big hugs to you, Anna. Anytime. Yeah, 202 and 55 on my screen with collective message theme. Aw, love it. Wow, starfish did come out in my last time reading. I'm doing it, feeling into the emotions while breathing into them. What a synchronicity. The last 2 days have been like this, being more present. You're already, see, it's like the reading here today was kind of that external validation, but like you were already doing the thing. You already tuned into what you needed to do. And then just hearing that external validation just kind of helps you feel solid and, okay, I know what I'm doing. I'll keep doing it. And when you intuitively feel you need to shift and do something else, then do that, I love it. And then Florence has posted her question here. What surprises are coming for her in 2026, which we will get into very soon here. You're so welcome. I did a big one last night, feeling everything inside me when I recalled my dream with my mom in it. Yes, Jessa loves it. Nods. Love it. Yeah, like a cloak put on top of our real essence. Carrie's one video course is awesome for this. If you would like to take, it's not expensive at all. Yeah, I might look into that. That sounds really cool. Yeah, let's go, says Collite. Michelle, let's get Michelle's reading. All right, Michelle. In alignment with Michelle's true spirit, what does she need to know right now? We have the eagle. ancestral healing. Your ancestors are holding space that you heal for you to heal your past. And sometimes healing doesn't need to be us going in with a fine-tooth comb and dissecting all the trauma and all the whatevers. It's literally just saying, I'm not interested. I'm not holding that old vibration of X, Y, or Z, and literally almost envisioning yourself taking it off like a coat. That's kind of a theme we've been talking about here for, I don't know, last 6 months or so. It's just, I used to call it on my pick a cards, the backpack full of bricks, which is also a very fitting kind of analogy of, your load is feeling very heavy with all of this past trauma, ancestral wounding, da 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 da. But there is this ancestral element here. And then with the eagle, this is about taking that eagle eye approach or having that bigger picture approach. That's kind of been the theme of a lot of these one cards today that's standing out a lot here. But your ancestors, just acknowledging the positives and the benefits that the ancestors have given you. And that's like the blood that runs through your veins and the gifts and the talents that's in your DNA because of these ancestors. But that doesn't mean you also have to hold all of the negatives that we've just like, well, that's their burden to bear. It's like, no, you can literally feel it to heal it to peel it away. Like I used to say that all the time. Feel it to heal it. So if you are kind of a very similar message we were getting for Versha, if you are feeling any certain type of way, happy, sad, anything in between, you can, in the moment, if you're in a safe place to do so without getting mocked or made fun of in any way, to literally just allow yourself to feel. And just as you're feeling anger, as you're feeling sadness, you can also kind of allow anything that's not serving you, that's still in your DNA, your codons, your energy field, your emotional body, your mental body, physical body, astral body, whatever, just allow it to flow on out with that, because it's no longer needed. It's no longer necessary. It didn't need to be there in the first place, but it just kind of got stuck or stagnant or kind of caught up in the walls or whatever. A lot of times when we feel our feelings, especially after like a good cry, usually you feel like a weight has been lifted, because a lot of times just intuitively, without realizing it's what we're doing, we're just letting go of just what's no longer serving us anymore when we have a good cry like that. So I don't know if you're due for a good cry or have had a good cry lately, or maybe that's, again, coming up in the very near future. But if that's the case, or you're just having this like emotional purge, or even just some anger coming up and you're just putting your hands on your heart and allowing yourself to feel this anger and just digging up all the stuff that doesn't need to be in your energy field and just allowing it to move on. Or if you want to keep that energy but alchemize or transmute it, you don't just have to release it and let it go in that way, but you can call it back after you've released it or let it go. You call it back into the cauldron kind of the sacral energy of your body and alchemize and transmute it into energy you can use to fuel your steps forward or your healing or peeling process moving forward. Love it. All right. That was from Michelle. And Brianna's back. There she is. Yes, thank you. I do have a lot planned for this year. This is exactly my energy. Says Kalite. That's so exciting. Oh. And okay, let me see if I remember is it Piello? Is that how I pronounce your name? I want to say that's how to pronounce it, because I was definitely mispronouncing it years and years and years ago. 4 years since you were here. Welcome back. But I do remember you. I want to say it was pronounced Piello or something like that. But if I'm wrong, please let me know how to pronounce your name. It is a universally flattering color, isn't it? Maybe different shades of coral, darker coral, lighter coral, just depending on, people's color seasons for their, all the fun things. Fun. I'm a warm spring, so... And funny because the mental institution here in the state of Montana is in a town called Warm Springs. So I'm like, I swear I'm okay. Yes. Oh, I love that color in my lipstick. Yeah. Mine's kind of the one I like to wear more of a coral on my cheeks. I put so much of it on too. It just washes so badly out with this webcam. But the lipstick color that I go for is more of I don't even know how to explain it. Like a dirty mauve. I don't know. Like a muted, dusty rose mauve, but not like the 90s frosted dusty rose, because there is a distinct difference. That was a lipstick many of us wore in the 90s that was not flattering to hardly anybody. That frosty mauve. Jessa remembers all the glamour shots with the dusty mauve, like frosted lipstick that just did not really look good on hardly anybody. But so many people wore that color. It didn't matter. Oh, I was thankfully never in the camp of let me put concealer on my lips and then use like a brown pencil to line my lips. I never did that. And in fact, I did a little bit of the frosted lipstick, realized I looked like I was trying to dress up as a cartoon character or something, and then I stopped doing it pretty soon into my journey of Wet and Wild. I don't even remember the name of it. It was something frosted something. Been there, done that, but it didn't last long for me. I realized, ew, this isn't working. I don't care if everybody else is wearing it, I'm not. Yeah, and that was like my 7th grade year of school. That was a real big hit, and I bought a little like 99-cent tube of Wet and Wild frosted pink lipstick, wore it maybe twice to school and was realizing like, not my vibe. Yes, absolutely, says New Love. Listen, if it's not making me hotter, lazier, happier, or richer, I ain't doing it. I am on board with that energy 100%. I'm going for fitness test tomorrow. I'm afraid. I know I have a spiritual calling, but it's been tough. Any messages? All right. Well, yes, you have an 11:11. So I see Brianna's 11:11 first. So we'll go into Brianna. So we have some good energy coming in for Brianna in alignment with her true spirit. What does she need to know right now? Here we go. Well, we have the horse, and this is the year of the fire horse. Again, you're already like not even on time, but like ahead of the curve, ahead of the game. Free spirit. You're not letting that matrix hold you back. No, you are not. Give yourself the space and freedom to express yourself creatively. And people don't have to be like an artist or a writer or a designer or a whatever to be considered a creator or a creative person. You're literally creating the brushstrokes of your life with every thought, every action, every decision, every spiritual calling, everything. So your whole life force is your creativity. So you can look at it that way. It's not meaning that you have to sit down and be creative in a, you know, uh, what's the word? Like conventionally creative way. Although, if you want to be conventionally creative, you have a lot of support for that this year as well. Aesthetics, making things pretty, uh, cutting the excess out and really curating the energy of just what you do want to be there. And this could look like what I'm seeing in my mind's eye, Brianna, is like a shelf that's just overly cluttered. Maybe you like a lot of the things that are on there, but then there's certain things on there you just don't care for. This looks a lot like taking everything off the shelf, maybe even like deep cleaning the shelf itself, really polishing it up really pretty, making sure it's clean and dusted and all the things. And then you take each individual thing that was on the shelf and you hold it up to your face and then or to your heart or whatever and look at it and like, do I really want this? Does this represent whatever? Do I want to keep curating this in my life? The answer is no. You can donate it, pass it on, toss it, whatever that looks like. And of course, this is all metaphorically speaking, unless you have a literal shelf that you're doing this with, but more metaphorically speaking. But then the things that you're like, ooh, I love this. This has to be the centerpiece, the focal point, the main piece de resistance of this shelf. And you polish it up and then you put it on the shelf in a prominent way. And before it just kind of blended in with everything. But now that you've like been very intentional about what you're putting back on the shelf and cleansing and clearing it very nicely, it's just every time you walk by this shelf, again, metaphorically speaking, you're just gonna be like, oh, I freaking love that thing. And all the whole aesthetic of it all. I love it. I love it. It lights me up so much. Metaphorically speaking. That's the energy you're embodying here. And I love how we have all these crystals. You'd think there'd be like some like bushes or something, but no, these are crystals, like next level energy here. Quantum leaps, free spirit energy. I love it. So very cool. All right, Piello. I think that's how we say your name. Let's get your card. Let's get your card. Woo! Here we go. Panther. We have protection. Okay, so consider who you allow to take your energy and who you give it away to freely. And this doesn't just have to be people in your life. This could be, having to go to work and associate with coworkers that you don't feel good about, or a boss that you feel is taking advantage of your hard work or your effort, the government, the medical system. Like this is finding where you feel like your energy is keeping something going that you don't agree with and pulling. And this could be just a simple, I rebuke that I refuse. Again, you can energetically pull your energy back from, and this is something, it's really interesting. A lot of things that people are talking about is like the economy and stuff this year, and a lot of people are like boycotting paying, taxes and stuff, which, no legal advice here or telling you should or shouldn't do anything, but it's kind of a, even if you're still paying those taxes or whatever, you're just setting the intention that this doesn't really align with what I want to be doing with my time, my money, my effort, that's my life force energy boiled down to, some dollar bills that I'm now paying is taxes to, the government or the state or whatever. Just as an example, I'm just using this as an example, PLO. But yes, consider where you're allowing that energy. And even if you're feeling like, well, I'm kind of like, what's the word? Like it's mandatory for me to do this thing or that thing or that thing. The energy behind you showing up to do that mandatory thing doesn't have to be you literally having to fatalistically surrender to that system, that job, that situation, that bill, that whatever it is. A lot, and another thing that a lot of people should not have to pay for would be like your energy usage, because we did at one point have this energy grid of free energy that was in harmony with the earth. It wasn't hurting anything, and in fact it was benefiting the earth with us using this ether energy. And then they dismantled and took it away again during this last 400-year cycle we've been in the cross of planning. Since about 1615, they dismantled that grid to create these systems of control. So it's about you dismantling the systems of control by literally pulling your energy back. Maybe physically you're still paying into it or whatever, but energetically you're saying, no, sir, no, ma'am. This can be to relationships, jobs, systems, whatever. But you're making some pretty big changes. And as you do make these changes, you are protected by your spirit. I love that message. Yes, Laura, we did your reading, which you may have already heard. I'm not sure. Thank you. I've been seeing eagles and a lot lately. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, I did a couple polls ago. Thank you. I love a good cry. It's such a good way to let it out from the system. And there have been times where I'm like emotionally almost like constipated or something, where I'm like, I want to cry right now, but like it feels very forced, and even me like trying to force it to come out, it's just not coming out. Why? I don't know. It's because we feel, I don't know, there's usually some sort of negative emotion standing in the way of us allowing the floodgates to just open up and to release, Yeah. Oh, hello, exactly. You got it correct. Oh, goody. I'm glad I remember that 4 years later. Yes, yes, yes. Wow. I'm glad it resonated for you, PLO. Rosewood. Ooh, nice. Yeah, this is 100% my year, says Brianna. Literally have been doing that all day. Trimming the fat in every single space, mind, body, spirit, physical space, all things. Okay, all eyes on Brianna, because she's literally kind of showing us, she's like a way shower for us to know like what's next for us. This is what we're all going to be doing. So just, share as much as you feel you want to share with strangers on the internet, or, people that feel kind of like soul family on the internet. I love it because, yeah, you chills. Brianna, yeah, you're just so much. And this has kind of just been your energy, your vibe since you incarnated here, is just a way shower for a new way forward. We don't have to follow these old ways, these old paths, these dusty old systems that don't even benefit us. Let's go a new way. And you just shining your light and going your new way, your own way, is not telling other people they have to also follow your exact path, your exact way. You're just saying, hey, it's possible for me. It's absolutely possible for you, but you're going to do it your way. You're going to do it your way. And that may even be kind of how you are teaching people on your online stuff that you're doing is, this is how I do it. That doesn't mean you have to do it this way, but I'm just like literally showing you it's possible. Kind of just like as like a baseline theme of what it is that you're here to do, or services you're here to provide, are to let people feel empowered within themselves by witnessing you as an empowered woman, an empowered divine being, divine goddess, whatever you want to call yourself, Okay, thank you for letting me know. Yes, anytime. I did feel in December that the original grid of Earth came online due to the collective shift happening in the energy. I'm feeling it. Yeah, and Pluto has gone into gate 40 as of December 5th. I remember that date. But let's just read gate 40. So we know Pluto, this feels relevant. Believe me, I'm getting to our donation questions here, but I'm going to say gate 40, human design. Okay. Okay. So Pluto comes in to destroy what is not serving. It doesn't just needlessly destroy to destroy. That's not Pluto's job. Pluto comes in to destroy what is not going to work anymore, and probably what hasn't been working for a while, but like going through the motions, being human, being in these systems. That's what we got to do. And it's going to be here until sometime in 2028. Forgive me, I do not remember the date. But Pluto's going to be in gate 40 for a hot minute now. So gate 40 is the gate of aloneness. It signifies the need to balance dedicated work and service to the community with the essential rest and solitude, representing the liberated altruist who provides but needs personal space to recharge, preventing burnout and resentment by setting boundaries. It's tied to the ego and the will center and focusing on providing for others while needing personal freedom and recovery time. And this is what we're actually moving out of. Completely. We're moving out of this. This is the death throes, the death cry. That's why Pluto is here at this time, to say no more contributing just because you should be doing it. From now on, each individual person, should they choose to accept their mission, will provide from a space of this lights me up. I'm going to go in the direction, the authentic, unique direction of what lights me up. And people are going to benefit from my energy, from me benefiting, from me putting my energy where it is not only necessary and needed, but also where your spirit is desiring you to focus. Not just you having to, well, you got to provide for a family, so take just whatever job comes up, even though it's sucking the life out of your soul and your spirit. Many people have been in that role for, the past 400 plus years of being in these soul sucking positions or jobs or lifestyles. And it's not serving anyone anymore. It's serving a very select few at the top, sure, but that's all crumbling down. So with this Pluto coming in gate 40 between now and sometime in 2028, December 5th of 2025 is when it went in, coming out sometime in 2028. You guys can look that up if you feel so inclined to do more research. But this is about doing things for the greater good. We're still doing things for the greater good, but we're flipping the script, or we're changing the way that we're showing up for the greater good. Because look around. Are these systems for the greater good actually helping the individuals or even the greater good? Absolutely not. I mean, look at the Social Security system. Look at the what do they call it? Food stamps and I forget the name of, like, is it EBT, something like that. That system's like not really serving many people the way it's supposed to, or originally did, or should be. Social service type work or things, not really. I mean, yes, there are instances where it's absolutely working 100% phenomenally, but in a lot of instances, it's just not. So this is not like throwing the baby out with the bathwater. It's keeping what works, but then finding a new system or a new way of operating where we're operating from our own authenticity, rather than feeling like a square peg having to fit in the round hole because the round hole is the only job available. So we're that square peg, but we've got to go in that round hole. No more. We're square peg searching out the square peg, because that's where we're meant to really produce for society. But it's actually first and foremost producing for us because it's in alignment with us. And then once we're in alignment with our spirit in whatever reality that we're in, it only amplifies and creates abundance. And that's where the pieces have been missing, because that abundance has been funneling up to these few people at the top who have been benefiting from these tribal systems that have been in place. And we're saying no more to that. We're still taking care of our own and our people, but just from a place of empowerment within us, ourselves, to do so. I love it. That's why people are different. If everybody, and that's the thing, is they want this sameness. And even in the new age movement, like, we're all one. We all have to, do this, do whatever. It's like, yes, we're all going up the same spiritual mountain, so to speak, but we're all taking very, very different paths up. And maybe some of our paths are very much in tandem or even on the same path as certain people close to us or people that we meet out there. But that doesn't mean we have to, go exactly their path or go exactly our path up the mountain. And in fact, it would just be, think of just a small tribe of say 30 people. This person would have this job, this person would have this job, these three people have this job, these people would go out and hunt, these people, everyone had a job. And it was usually those like tribal elders that would say, okay, you're going to be the medicine man, you're going to be, and usually they would, when things were more in alignment with the earth, they would be in alignment with what your spirit brought you here to be or to contribute. But under this new system, yes, there's still going to be a need for all these different facets or jobs or services provided, but we're all going to kind of tune in and know what area I'm going to serve. It's not going to come from some outside authority telling you, your parents or grandparents saying you need to be a lawyer or a doctor so you can make money and do this family proud, or whatever the case may be. I know, just even in my own family, it was very much like, people need to go to college, people need to do this, and if you look at the whole college system and from college to like corporate America pipeline, it's busted, it's broken right now. There are so many people who graduated 10 years ago, graduated recently, that have applied for thousands and thousands and thousands of jobs, and nothing is happening. Nothing. It's broken. It is on its way out. That doesn't mean doom and gloom. We're all going to starve. And no, we are very, again, resilient as humans, but we're moving from this surviving energy into thriving energy. But that overlap is maybe going to be a bit difficult. The transition, I mean, the transitional phase of labor is very difficult. If you think of, birthing this new reality as like birthing a child, the transitional phase of labor, I have chills, is very complicated and painful and grueling, but it's necessary. It's very necessary. Yeah, absolutely. All right. I don't know why I went off on that soapbox, but there it was. If you can't tell, I'm very hyped up for this new energy. I'll feel it. I think a lot of you feel it. We're ready. We're ready for this new energy. I love it. Oh, I remembered a good song that made me cry. I heard it 4 times. Ooh, what song? I finally accepted my calling. I'm always questioning why we are following people who are loud and wrong. Perfect example. All the presidents we've had pretty much since we all have been on this planet. Why? Who are these people? This is the best we can do? I don't freaking think so. But that should tell you right now, it's a whole clown show. When things just make no sense, that lets you know they're on their way out. It's not working, and it hasn't been for most of our lifetimes, for sure. And then hundreds of years back, thousands of years back, this just not working for me, not at all. I mean, we find ways to adapt and fit our square pegs in those round holes until we can find something better. We're resilient, but that doesn't put us in that thriving energy that so many of us will move into eventually. I'm always questioning why we're following people who are loud and wrong. It's exactly what my space is about, and I know it's a divine calling to hold this space. You're on your mission. I love that so much, Brianna. Yes, you are leaping. Heard the message. It resonated 100%. Getting divorced and trying to figure out how to manage it all. I know it's paying off, and thank you for the guidance and insight. You're so welcome, Lorte, and I'm big hugs. That can't be easy. Even if it's something is necessary and needed, it's still, again, that transition, it's a very difficult place to be. So if you want any support, love, a shout out, just come join us here. We're here Wednesdays and Fridays at 11 a.m. Mountain Time until whenever we run out of donations. So you have us to lean on if you need a community. You're always welcome here. You're on fire today, girl. Spiritual Lessons 101. I love it. Yeah, herd and pack mentality. Yeah, that's what's going away. And it doesn't mean there can't be smaller herds and packs of certain mentalities, because, like minds will find like minds. But yeah, it just feel like crying, such happy tears. Yeah, it feels like an emotional purge and a physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, just systemic purge of just what's not serving, and a lot out there is not serving the greater good or the individual anymore. So gotta go, gotta go, gotta go, gotta go, gotta go right now. That was like a bladder incontinence commercial in like the late 90s, early 2000s. I remember seeing that on TV. Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go right now. I couldn't even tell you what the name of it was, but I just remember the little what do they call it? A jingle, the little theme song, whatever it's called. Now it's collective hypnosis, just like they showed in the 3rd season of Stranger Things, under the influence of mind control of the flare. And I'm not that far yet, but I've heard enough. Like I'm like toward the end of season 2, mid to end of season 2. Yeah, I don't want to spoil where I'm at for those that are watching, but sunshine or no, sunflower, rainbow, 450, 3 to the left, 4 to the right, or something like that. That's the episode I watched last night. If you know, you know. If you don't, it's okay. I didn't spoil anything, I don't think. Yeah. I just shared the song with you. Oh, did I miss it? Oh, you probably shared it on text. Duh. Got it. Thank you. Awesome. No, like I said, just being on social media, I've heard things. I've heard the name Vecna and all sorts of like spoilery type things. Like, again, that's my bad for taking so long to watch a series. It's been out for 9 years, 10 years now, almost, since I started it. So that's on me, not on you guys. So it's okay. Yeah, that's the problem of waiting until everything's out so I can just immerse myself in it. But that being said, there is something to feel like, I don't know, because there was one series that I started watching from the beginning, and then in season 6, I've never watched an episode since 2016, which was The Walking Dead. That was my show. I felt such connections to these characters, and yeah, it was a gruesome show and everything, but it was the premiere of that was the same month of my Kundalini awakening in 2016. It was season 6 with Negan. If you know, you know. I still haven't returned to that series. It hurt me so bad. This is not okay. And it's weird because I called what happened. I knew it was going to be one of the 2 characters that it was. I didn't though realize it was going to be both of them. And when it was the first one, I was kind of like, okay. And then it was the second one, I was like, but the foreshadowing, because I was in journalism and in a lot of my media art stuff. So I had to take a lot of like film type classes and story structure classes. So like foreshadowing and where the camera will intentionally rest, so you got to like actually watch things rather than just listen to stuff in the background. So much foreshadowing for both of those characters that saw their end in that first episode of season 6 were there to where I was like, which one's it going to be? I did not, in my rightest of minds, think it was going to be both of them. Yeah, things don't even matter until you know. It's okay. Yeah, right. And, I think there's a reason that I held off, because I always knew, I'm like, ooh, I'm so excited to get into this series of Stranger Things, but like I'm going to wait until it's all out so I can just like immerse myself. But I could have been immersing myself the whole way, like I have been with another one that I started watching a couple years ago, but it started back in like 2015 as 2016, somewhere in there, as well as Outlander series. And now just having to wait for season 8 or was it, I don't know, I think it's season 8. Yeah. I'm like, oh, let's go. Because I've read the whole book series like over the last year and a half. I kind of took my time to get through that. But yeah, some of those books are like over 1,000 pages. So I did good. No, you're okay, Versha. That's totally fine. Okay. I just want to hang out with you guys, and I could probably just do that forever, but we should probably get into our donation questions today. Yes, we should. So let's see. So I want to say Versha was first. Okay. We have Versha, and then on deck we have Florence, and then Brianna for a 1-card pull, and then Jessa for a 1-card pull. So I guess we're not too crazy long of a list. We can get into this. And I think Versha had mentioned something about a timestamp. I thought I saw that pop up. So yes, please timestamp and then question in text. Perfect. So I will put these in here to move over there for now. So, Versha. And we're going to read, we'll timestamp so we can read the question. So 154:16. Read question and then start timer. Okay. So day before yesterday, I saw my mom in my dream. I feel she had some messages for me. Last year, it was about the swap, which didn't go as we thought it would. I was counting on it. Now I have come to a point of understanding that it's not going the way it was supposed to. At one point, I wanted it to happen. Now I'm at a point, if it doesn't happen, then if it happens, then that's awesome. If it doesn't, then that's what it is. I know Divine has my back. My own spark has my back. And his swap does not define my own journey. I love that. Yes. Great realization. So anyway, my question is not about this. What is it that my beautiful multidimensional mom and her energy has been trying to share with me? All right. I really do see this as you're on the right path. Even if things feel upside down and backwards, inside out, all the things, you're on the right path. And okay, so I just heard also the rest of your life is the best of your life, which is always good. It's always good news. But let's just see any specifics of these messages that need to come through from Versha's mom to her that she's trying to bring through. Okay, clarity, truth, wisdom, guidance, all of it. And here's a big yes, that was her true spirit coming into the dream world. But I'm seeing some like suppressions or blockages where she could only tell you so much because the Matrix does what it does in this dumpster fire of the collapsed astral realm that it is now, to where there are kind of fail safes in place to where too much information can't be divulged from spirits to people who are still incarnated, if that makes sense. But I'm seeing that the more that you're just open to receive these messages, they will almost appear as like downloads through your thoughts or just deep knowing. She's getting these messages. Can we get some specifics on what these messages are? Okay, so there's not just one way forward. There may be yet another timeline shift that you're going to make the right choice to know what timeline to be on. But this is also a card of movement. If you're not physically moving or traveling, you're doing a lot of like spiritual quantum leaping, so to speak. So maybe traveling timeline wise rather than like physical distance wise. And that she's letting you know that she is a major supporting help, love, guardian, whatever we want to call this. She's not telling you what to do or how you should do it, but she's just letting you know energetically and spiritually speaking, she's there as a guardian to help protect. But she's not doing the heavy lifting. She's not doing the work for you or telling you what to do. But she's just saying, as things go, just know I have your back. I'm protecting you. There's a protective force around you and your daughter, obviously, your household. But she's not going to tell you how to do things, what you should do, none of that. Those times are over with true spirit. I mean, true spirit was never really doing that anyway because they know their place. They know that's not their place. That's your own true spirit to come forward and be like, okay, this is our direction. This is what we need to do next. But it's more of like a guardian protective, I'm going to help, make sure nothing really gets in the way of what you know you need to do. That's really the main message coming through. And I can't help but really look at this kind of curtain. It's almost like a starry night, but it's also that you can see the texture of it. I mean, just look how intricate. I'm hearing, oh, wow, that's a powerful message. I'm hearing the fabric of reality is literally tearing. A literal tear in the fabric of reality, but reality as we know it, as in literally the false matrix. There's a tear in the false matrix that is allowing the true light to shine in, which you already were talking about the original grids coming online or just being able to be felt by some people. And your mom's letting you know that, yes, I'm like anchoring energy to allow you to feel this shift. Wow. And I forgot to set the timer, but we'll keep on track. We're definitely not over time yet. Anything else? Okay, so it's about a shift of focus because, again, what is it you're creating? Where are you paying attention, spending your time? Are you worrying to create that manifestation of that reality? And again, this is not in that spiritually bypassy way where, um, we're like, well, I don't want that. So I'm not going to put any effort or attention on that. Using that intuition that came through, what was that? Something just went, maybe it was a hair. I don't know. Um, Using that intuition that you got in your one card pull is going to help you navigate when you realize, okay, I'm focusing on doom and gloom timelines again, because obviously you look on anything about the economy, politics, religion, current events, false flags, conspiracy theories. There is a plethora of just negativity, toxicity, downward spiral rabbit holes that we could go on. We know these things are evil. We know these things are happening. We know these timelines are available. That does not mean we have to go down with those ships. Those are absolutely potentials on other timelines. And just knowing, again, I like the whole forewarned is forearmed. Like, yes, this is what's happening in the collective right now, but choosing to focus only on what's happening in the collective literally pours like a fire hose of our life force energy into creating that timeline. So it's a great to be aware of, okay, I think they're going to be trying to do this thing over here, but instead what is it, we're the ones we've been waiting for, right? So what is it I want to create as a alternative ending or an alternative timeline to what's going on in that dumpster fire of a collective right now? That's the message your mom is bringing through is, and we can all get kind of on that negative downward spiral. Woe is me. I don't see a way out. I'm a victim. We can all get there. And we've all been there, right? We've all been there. But she's showing you that when you notice you're in that victim, helpless, feeling like there's no way forward or life just sucks, that no, just acknowledge, okay, right now I feel that way, and allow yourself to feel how you feel. But then you can imagine with your imagination, which is very creative life force energy, those old timelines of you feeling lost and like a victim and like you're stuck or like things can't move in a positive direction, allowing that to flow out with the emotions as you feel them. Just allow, almost like that fire hose turned on of things that you don't want to experience, allow yourself to emotionally feel them as you let them go. That's the message she's bringing through. Let's get one of these cards before we close out. Anything else Bersha's mom wants her to know? Messages from that dream or just in general, spiritually speaking. Messages in alignment with true original source creator for Bersha from her mom. And we have faith here. And it's not have faith in the conventional way of, we've got a cross here of like Christianity or something. But this is about having faith in your own true spirit to light that path, to light the way. And it almost does feel like some sort of sword of truth. It's kind of similar. Not exact, but similar. It's almost like this. There's the sword. Look at that. Oh, I just put that together. Look at that. It's like this is the handle of the sword and then the blade. But it's like turning that energy of having faith in something or someone, some savior outside of you, back to the internal of your spirit. And pure source, because pure source is accessible from within, because you are it. It is you. You are God or pure source or whatever you want to call that energy. You are part of that. So if you feel like, a lot of people are like, oh, well, I feel like God is some external figure to me. No, God is you. You are God. That is you. You are it. He, she, everything in between, whatever, that pure source creation. When you connect to that, that is you connecting to yourself because you are it. And that's just a clear reminder of that as well. All right. So I hope that resonated. No real, hey, you should do this, you should do that, as far as like advice goes coming through from your mom, but just letting you know, hey, if you knew you were as powerful as I know you are, boy, girl, you would be like just kicking butt and taking names with these quantum leaps and timeline shifts. She showed me my relationship with my brother. Something about jewelry that she is healed. Ooh, I'm not responsible for what happened to her and much more. Oh, that's so cool. I did miss a couple of things from Brianna. Oh, So many people are upset with the ending of Stranger Things, but it's proving that people only care about death and drama. So many people missed how talented the writers are. I've accepted that, um, if most people like it, it will probably be I will probably be disgusted by it. I'm the same way. I'm the same way. Oh my gosh. People are just loud and wrong. Yeah, I did hear people were quite upset with the ending, and then someone said there was like a hidden ninth episode coming out or something. I don't know if that's true or not. My husband said something about it, and he's watching it with me for the first time ever. And he's like, I since we started watching Stranger Things, like that's all I'm getting in my like not YouTube. He doesn't really go. He goes on YouTube sometimes, but he's more like Facebook feeds or whatever groups. He never posts on Facebook, but he goes on there to look. He's like, that's all I'm getting is like spoilers for that, and he saw something about it. I don't know, but yeah, I feel I will quantum leap sometime from now to March. Oops, it just jumped. Activating the year of the horse. It's more the shedding, and that's kind of what was going on in the collective reading for our little collective. Was March was kind of a catalyst or like a jumping off point where this like fire horse sun year one energy is really going to amplify, and we're going to really start to feel it then. Not that we can't and haven't been feeling it like as little like sparks or nudges. I have, and I'm sure you have. Like we just feel like there's something big coming, something new and fresh, and something we could really just focus on and dive into and manifest. A lot of us feel that way, but it's like, well, I want to do it, but like, where's my motivation to do it? Or like, when should I start? And it's like, when we know, like when that energy is like full force, we're going to be able to like, again, ride that wave rather than be in the throes of the storm. We're going to ride the wave of that energy, at least per our collective reading that came out, which is really powerful. Yeah. Faith, trusting my spirit, pure source energy. Love it. Yeah, practicing being in the now moment, connecting with my breath, heartbeat, so that I am centered. There you go. Yeah, interesting mention of sword. I helped S in a healing and letting go of burdens he was carrying. I asked him to see that, alchemize it into something. He saw converted maybe into a sword from He-Man cartoon. Oh my gosh. Yes. Well, that's funny. The episode I was watching last night of Stranger Things, the Lucas's sister Erica picks up the walkie-talkie in Lucas's room to tell Dustin, quit bothering me, quit calling here. And she has his He-Man figurine in her hand when she's doing all that. Love that. Gotta love He-Man. I still love watching that. I have the power. All right. Oh, that happened last night. Wow. And then you had the dream after that or before? Because either way, holy cow, that's powerful. Either way. And Arthur's off his rocker about something down there. Up next, we have Florence, I think. Let's see. Florence. Okay. And she had her what surprises are in store. And I'm just going to timestamp just in case she had to go. 207:20. Okay. Here we go. For Florence, what surprises are in store in 2026 for Florence in alignment with her true spirit? What does she need to know? Surprises in store. Good news, I'm hearing. There's good news. Ooh, there's that Ace of Swords. Truth, clarity. Just a way forward, just knowing what the next step is, where before maybe it was foggy or just kind of unknown. I'm seeing like, yeah, this valley where the fog is really starting to lift. Yeah, I love timestamps too, because then that way you can always go back even 3 months from now. If you save the link to this, you can just know where your timestamp is and go directly to it without having to listen to me yap for 2 hours, 8 minutes, and 10 seconds first. But look at this. This is sort of clarity and truth. So some of the surprises coming is you're going to have some clarity where before there was just fog or just unsure, just feeling unsure about things. You're getting some clarity about, okay, this is what I need to do. This is the direction I'm going. I feel like I'm going to the tea leaf oracles, but this is definitely a year of truth, or even you speaking your truth. This is a very throat chakra energy here, especially with the swords energy is very throat chakra. Those upper chakras really, to me, are very sword energy. But let's just see What surprises are in store for Florence in 2026? We have the historic news. Good news. Remember what I said? Good news. That was like the first thing I said. Good news. So we have here news of a birth or a new business opportunity. And this doesn't have to be a physical birth. This could be the birth of an idea, the birth of a hobby, the birth of a relationship, the birth, just new energy. That number one, number sun energy. Sun is not a number, but it's a planet. But that's the universal year we're in is number one. So lots of new opportunities, good news. May even be literal news of a birth or an opportunity from people you know. They're having really good things happen and they're sharing the good news with you. Have a good one, Barsha. We'll see you later. Anything else for Florence? Surprises? Ooh. Okay. We have the horse card, which we're in the year of the horse, the fire horse. But let me pick. Oh, a four-leaf clover? Holy cow. Okay. So this is where you're putting the effort or the work in. And these two were kind of facing a different direction. These ones were face down. These were face up. So let's take the ones face up first, because these are more shadow or kind of underlying energies. I'm really taking these cards as. So great, good fortune. So there's probably some financial prosperity or increase, abundance coming in. And then we have the horse, which is about a short journey. And again, we're in the year of the fire horse. So short journey, forward momentum. There could even be some travel you're doing that's just short or like within your area. And you're maybe, to me, it feels like you're visiting a place. I mean, I heard third place, right, as I said that. And if you've never heard of a third place, so it used to be people would have their house and then they'd have their job and then they'd have a third place. And my best example for you would be the TV show Cheers or the TV show Friends. Friends had Central Perk was kind of their third place where they would all gather and get together and hang out. And there's kind of been, since the internet, a death of the third place where people just don't really have a third place to go besides their home or their work. And if you work from home, you literally have one place. Unless you're visiting parents or friends or something from time to time. But this really is showing me that maybe you're finding a third place where you're going back and forth between your home or your work and then the third place. Could be, potential partner, their place, or, a coffee shop where you're meeting up with friends or just doing some work or something just to get out. But you're discovering a third place this year for yourself. If you already have a third place for yourself, this could really just look like you really solidifying the connection you have to that third place. So we have gavel here, involvement with the law. And this doesn't literally have to be the law. This is just about finding fairness and balance in your day-to-day life. Or just involvement with the way, like the laws of physics, the laws of gravity, the law of one. Just really discovering that everything's not set in stone. There's nuance. There's like a middle ground even to things. So this really does feel to me very much Libra. Around Libra season, you're going to make a decision because of all this outside energy and information, but also some internal energy and information that you're bringing to the forefront to make a really good, life-changing and positive decision. And again, this is in like Libra season of like October, around October. And then we have bird perched, waiting for news, package or letter. And that kind of goes hand in hand with the news of a birth or a new business idea or opportunity. So there may be a bit of, and they're both birds here, maybe a bit of patience needed in whatever this good news and this birth energy is. So this could let us know that this is maybe happening sometime around or after July. So July through the rest of 2026 is when this news is coming. So you may be kind of waiting patiently for something to do, something to happen in the meantime. And then chair empty, something or someone is leaving your life. Again, I'm seeing this as a good thing. This is not someone who's meant to be in your life forever or something. It doesn't even have to be a person. This could be a place you go online. Like maybe you're cutting ties with one form of social media or another, or bad habits that you're leaving behind. But something that is no longer serving you is exiting stage left. And I see that if it is a habit that you're leaving behind, Florence, it's something that, maybe before you really struggled to let this habit go, but there's just something different about the energy and the way you're approaching this shift that it's going to make this, sorry about the timer, make this shift or this change almost effortless. Like, why have I been holding on to this bad habit? Like, just let it go. Or, if it is a connection, it's just kind of, you just flawlessly and seamlessly kind of just go your separate ways. And if this is a person, it does feel like an online connection rather than like an in-person connection. Ruth is right out my door grunting and groaning. She probably has to go to the bathroom, but we have V for victory and some endeavor. We have sun. We're in a sun year, right? Happiness and well-being. So good surprises coming in. You're going to be a lot happier and really also focused on your health, wellness, and well-being, your self-love, your self-care. These are going to be big priorities for you this year. And also potentially family or friends that feel like family. You're going to really want to take care of them or find some balance with them. And again, it could even be that you're taking some sort of journey or visit to friends or family or friends that feel like family this year. And it's going to be important to you that you make these pilgrimages or visits, or, even if it's someone that lives in your town, or if it's someone who lives at a distance, but maybe you're calling them or doing a Zoom call or like a FaceTime or something like that, where you're still spending time with them and paying attention to them, having conversations and stuff. It's going to be important that you do that. All right. So I hope that resonated for you, Florence. But yeah, so some good surprises are more happiness than you would maybe think. Because, a lot of people look around right now at the economy, at the state of the world. They're like, where is the happiness? Where's the love? Like, it's crazy out here right now. As I draw more cards. But you're going to be finding some peace, happiness, time for yourself, time for fun things, exploring, potential travel. All these things are always a good idea and a good time. At least in your readings. Maybe not for everybody, but for you, Florence, travel, even short distance travel is always like pays off or is very beneficial to your life force. Like you're someone who likes to experience things and see things, and yeah. Very cool. She says she's here, but a timestamp is great. Perfect. Well, we have that timestamp for you. Oh, amazing. Sounds great. Thank you, Amanda. You're so welcome, Florence. Always a pleasure to read for you and Bersha and everyone else. And thanks again for everyone's donations that's donated today. All right. Now we're on to our 2 one-card pull readings. So, Brianna, you are first. Please channel a divine message for me. Thank you so much. Also, here is the link for that late bloomer video. Oh, perfect. Thank you. I will have to check that out because it didn't pop up in my email, but hopefully if I go on the back end of PayPal and click in there, maybe that link will show up for me. Okay. A divine message for Brianna. We'll set our timer. I'm trying to stay on track, but it never happens. Divine message for Brianna. Let's get it going for Brianna. What does Brianna need to know? This divine message. What needs to come through for Brianna? They have the Sword of Truth. You have the Ace of Wands. Look at that. This is about spiritual inspiration. A lot of the Ace of Swords is more about like mental clarity, and again, a lot of the mental constructs and stuff are like very matrix embedded. Not all, but many and most, probably for most people. But this is like a bypassing of the mental realm and going directly to connecting to spirit for the inspiration, for the motivation, for these new ideas, these epiphanies, these aha moments that are coming in for you, and potential like ideas for a new beginning. Again, lots of new beginning energy with the number 1, the sun year, the fire horse, a lot of like get up and go. And this fire energy is also very potent for sustaining that desire, that passion to move in this spiritual direction that you're going. So I see that your fire will remain lit. Isn't that something people used to say not too long ago? Like, oh, that's lit. Like, that's so cool. That's so fire. Now they're saying fire. And then, well, first it was lit, then it was fire. So I'm like, first you got to light something, then it becomes on fire. And then maybe there's explosions. Maybe the next like word for cool will be like explosive. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. But like in a good way, very explosive. Also, elephant in the room. Phallic symbolism of the Ace of Wands. Very fertile energy. So if you do not like fertile, like as far as your business, your creative, your passion, whatever, great. If you do not want to create a physical child this year, be very careful. If you do want to create a physical child this year, congratulations, mama. He's whoever's on the way this year, when you're ready, whenever. But if you're not ready for that, do what you need to do due diligence wise to prevent that from happening. Because, and the chills are chilling right now. But if that's on your like 2026 list, wishes are coming true for you this year, my dear. Look at this. Beautiful. Lots of support also from that divine feminine and masculine, because there's very feminine energies here, but then the masculine here is just supportive. Like, so it's not even that your husband is doing all these things for you. He might be, obviously, but he's very much this like riverbed for which your beautiful divine feminine energy can just flow and do the twists and turns and all the things you need to do. He's like acting as this stable support, most likely financial support as you like bring these big ideas to life, physical support, emotional support. He's just there, so much there for you to be able to just blossom and bloom in your really beautiful, creative, divine feminine energy, which is so exciting. My business is, and Yoni and Joni. Well, I know what Yoni, like and then the lingam is the masculine. Yes. And then the Shakti information is all over my screen right now. Is about. Gotcha. Oh my gosh. That's cool. Well, that just lets you know whatever dreams or ideas or visions you have for that work, quantum leap it. Because again, we were maybe not, most of humanity is probably still not ready for a lot of these concepts, but most people were probably not ready for that before now. But again, with this energy coming in, you're already like leading, you're already setting the stage to where when you like have it completely ready, people are going to start funneling in because they're now ready to start exploring these facets of themselves. And you will already have the stage set with, the program or whatever it is you're running, exactly, the services you're providing here to help people help themselves. It's beautiful. I love it. I do want to do a heal yourself reading card for you before we close out. Anything else Brianna needs to know? Divine messages. Hello. You can't make this up with the number 33. My face is turning red because I'm like, how is this happening? I have tears in my eyes. This is so powerful. And people don't realize that sexual energy, I mean, you do, and we do, all of us here realize, but most people don't realize that energy that creates life, that creates a baby, can create and manifest our whole reality. And you're taking that to the next level, because that's a master number. That is the master number of master numbers, because that 40, if it adds up past 33, you just have a single digit. So it's the ultimate comfort. Exactly. And then, is there magic at play right now? I'm tearing up. I don't know if you can see that. Oh my God, Brianna. Hello. Miss Sleeping Phoenix rising. It's not sleeping anymore. She is rising. And this is like a countdown. We have 33 to 32. Not that you're that far from blast off, so to speak, but holy cow. I'm speechless. Like, what? That is the true root of all our existence, and it's unstable. I'm about to pass out. The energy running through me when tuning into this is as it is with our readings here. And you, my dear. Holy cow. All I have to say is, wow. Wow. Yeah, you know what your mission is. And that was a mic drop. That was back of the deck energy, which is underlying energy. This has been your underlying energy your whole life and will continue on. Like, hello, this is your legacy. This is what you're creating as a legacy. Mic drop. Wow. You can't make that up at all. Like, what have we been talking about this whole live stream? I love it. And your specific incarnation cross, the Sleeping Phoenix, is rising. Oh my gosh. Beautiful. I couldn't even have told you either of those two cards were in here, because I don't know that I've ever pulled those cards. Not to say I haven't. I may have, but I mean, I'm used to this like healing card coming out, or the self-sabotage card coming out, or, take off your masks. That one's come out quite a bit. The home card, the beauty card. Yeah. I mean, the ones most relevant to you with what we were talking about, boom, mic drop. The magic of spirit, it's all around us all the time. We just have to tune in. And when we tune in, magic, it's not magic. It's just basic, like, step 1, step 2, step 3. But when we're living in this false matrix, it feels like magic because it is just so supportive and authentic to what we know to be true, I love it. My whole freaking life, and I could never talk about my gifts. Well, now you can, and you're going to be shouting them from the rooftops. Not as a, everybody look at me, but oh my gosh, this is what's possible, and I want to share it with you, and you, and you, and you, and whoever wants to be shared with. And if you wouldn't have talked about your book, we wouldn't have known about the incarnation cross similarity. See, everything happens for a reason. And it's funny because just 2 days ago, I'm just felt the need. I'm I think it's 2027 when that next, the cross of planning turns to the cross of the sleeping phoenix, and I wanted to know more about it again. So I started diving back into it 2 days ago, and then here we are. So you can't make this up. Everything's connected, but not in this everybody get on the same page and be a robot, exact copy of everybody else. No, we're all threads of this really immaculate tapestry that, if it weren't for one and then another and then another, it would be boring without all that unique and authentic stuff that each of us bring to the table. I love it. Yeah, that's so cool. Oh my gosh. How freaking cool was that? Certain live streams, we have these mic drop moments. There were 2 in a row. Just boom, boom, right there. Just like that. And when my jaw drops, usually okay, yeah, this is some serious magic here. I love it. Well, thanks for having the will to want a reading today so we could have some mic drop moments. I love it. Your heart is racing. My heart is racing. I had chills. I was tearing up. Oh my gosh, this is powerful. Just me tuning into the energy of how powerful this is brought that reaction to me. So I can only imagine the people that you're working with and their, your vibe, their vibe, coming together. It's magic, for lack of a better word. Beautiful. Aw, you're always so welcome, my dear. Always a pleasure. So thanks for hanging out with us. All right, Jessa, my dear. 1 card pull, Tiger data, open solar. Let's find out what's going on. And for some reason, I want to go back to this deck. We'll also get some tarot and maybe some tea leaves or whatever else calls are fancy here. But let's find out what's going on in the job front, specifically from Tiger data. Let's go back to, and then open solar will be our next. Okay, let's get a card for Tiger solar. What do we need to know? And we have sea turtle. There's Miss Mermaid herself coming in. Conservation, make conscious choices. Well, this lets us know that they are making a conscious choice for their company, but also you may be making a conscious choice about working at this company. Funny, because tiger is very much more of a land animal, obviously, but we have the sea turtle coming in to kind of act as a support for that tiger solar position or potential job opportunity timeline. I just saw Phoenix on the back of the deck. Empower, fire activation, bring creative and spiritual freedom. Wow. Phoenix. I don't know. Do they have anything going on in the city of Phoenix? Because that's coming to my awareness for some reason. This kind of feels like an underlying energy, empowered. You feel empowered just having these. It may even have been something that the guy on the phone or the woman or whatever interview way you had your interview was like, wow, yeah, you have all these talents and we'd be lucky to have you. I mean, they can clearly see your accolades or give you the accolades you deserve for what you could provide. But let's just see about open solar. Anything you need to know, Jessa, about open solar? Oh, we get 2 for that one as well. It's almost like, no, look at Tiger, the Tiger one, Tiger energy. But it's about divine timing. Good things come to those who wait. Who has been waiting for so long? And then we have Crane with surrender. Let go of limiting beliefs as be as expansive in your thoughts as your soul is. Weirdly enough, it's almost like this is somehow redirecting us back to Tiger energy. Because Tiger. What? Okay. Okay. So that has to come out, but not for Tiger energy, but for open solar, I think was what it's called. How weird is that though? So if there is something coming in for or it's meant to be that you're working at open solar, there's this state of surrender and letting go of limiting beliefs, especially if the position you applied for is something you haven't done yet, or it's kind of maybe a step out of your comfort zone, but you know personally you could do a great job at it, but it's maybe more about convincing them that you could. But there may be this thing where it circles back around, where maybe you're having to have some patience or divine timing about hearing yes or no from them. But again, we can't ignore the elephant in the room, or the tiger in the room in this case, the tiger card coming out. And then we were doing a reading just side by side of this about tiger energy. Yeah. Let's just see best path forward. We're going to go to the magical spirit oracle. Jess's best path forward. There may be that you're having a choice between these two, and that the best choice would be Tiger energy. But at the very least, the message coming through with Tiger energy is there's a conscious choice being made. You've been waiting for that card, right? What is Jess's best path forward with these two contenders for her to be their next employee? I don't want to say, oh, does Jessa get the job? Because that almost feels like, no, you're the commodity here. You're the prize. Like, let's put it that way. So what does Jessa need to know as the prize in the situation? In choosing between these two. It really does, doesn't it? It's so weird. The portal. Are you ready? Are you ready? Because things are about to shift here. We have the portal. Adventure, ancestors, and calling. This is your calling. And that's what we were talking about earlier when you had mentioned, I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. And like, once I knew my calling, like there was a fire in me. This is your calling to work. And then we have the 17, which is the star card. Wow. Anything else? I was going to say something about the sun being like fire and then this phoenix being like fire, but then I'm like, no, let me just pull the next card. It's like a union of the sun and the moon. The moon is one of your birth cards. The sun is very much involved in your career, obviously solar. I want to say that the sun is in your 10th house with Venus. Is that correct in your birth chart? I could be wrong. I thought that's what it was. But we have yin and yang. Unity, balanced energy, and manifestation. I am in divine flow and move in alignment with the number 2. It to me feels like you're going to have your choice. And this has been coming up. Did you just see that orb float by or whatever that was? Something floated by. But this has been coming up to where when it comes down to it, you're going to have your choice between at least more than one opportunity to where you're the one accepting. Again, we're going to reframe this. Instead of you being out there searching for the one as far as a job goes, no, you're the prize. And even if you're interviewing with these different ones, it's almost like you're flipping the script and you thinking of it as, no, I'm interviewing them to see if they're a good fit for me, rather than, am I a good fit for them? Irrelevant. Are they a good fit for me? Because this is my freaking life. This is my income. This is my job. So are they a good fit for me? It's almost like you're flipping your point of focus from, how can I fit myself into their mold for them to select me, pick me, choose me, love me? No, damn it. You need to love them. You need to choose them. You need to pick them. That's what's happening here. There's a shift. But it also may be that you are, because you've had that realization or that duh or that aha moment, that you're deciding between one or, well, more than one option. Let's get a answer simple card. What does Jessa need to know moving forward with Tiger Energy and Open Solar, or whatever it was called? Blow off steam. And the steam is like, okay, when you're on a steam engine, it's coming off of, the hot water that is driving this thing forward. So it's kind of the excess or the just what's unnecessary, what's unneeded. So when you blow off steam, you offload what doesn't need to be in your energy field anymore. So there may be this like good cry or good scream that you do, or if you can go to another one of those like break thing rooms. What are those called? Demolition thingy that you did with the kids that one time. If you could do something like that, either literal, like physically go do that, or like energetically speaking, just take and destroy what doesn't need to be there anymore in your energy field, or anything that could potentially be standing in the way of your career. More energetically speaking, you can do that, but it's always fun to have like a physical outlet with that intention behind it too, because we're such physical, tangible, if I can't see it, taste it, touch it, smell it, it doesn't exist type beings in our more, I mean, you and I and a lot of us here, maybe not so much completely, because we can be Delulu, which is great. But it's more about allowing that energy to become physical, so you can see it, feel it, but again, kind of reframing, like, and I think we've tuned into this energy before of like, no, I don't need them to choose me. I need to choose which one of these I'm willing to put my life force energy into working for. And if there's one that kind of stands out to you above the others that you would be like, yeah, I want that, that's the one to hone in on energetically, and literally putting your point of focus, spend your time, pay attention, envisioning yourself working here, what it'll feel like, the outfits you're going to wear to work, or if you're working from home, how you present yourself with your desk and, your background, if you're doing like meetings or whatever on Zoom or Teams, or, however people meet in a corporate environment. You're kind of allowing yourself to start dreaming or daydreaming. And then this one fell to the floor as I'm trying to put everything back. Fire activations bring creative and spiritual freedom. And fire activations can be your, this is kind of the color scheme of that that career candle that I sent you. The solar tangerine and solar petals. So, ooh, itchy nose, that's good luck. Good luck coming in. So just maybe as you burn that candle and you can look at the flame of it, and you don't have to close your eyes and envision, but you can almost watch that dancing flame and envision kind of almost using that flame as like a remote viewing of your workday at this place that you want to work. Trying some new things here. Yeah, because that energy for you to get this next job is so ripe. It's just like, it's right there. It's like kind of a, again, with Stranger Things, kind of maybe hopefully not to spoil the first episode, but, or second episode, maybe third, I don't know, first season for sure, when she's asking her son, where are you? He's like, I'm right here. Like the job is right here, but it's like energetically somehow still kept separate from you, but it's right here. And it's funny because they're using lights to communicate. So using lights, fire, solar, solar power. I love it. But there's something, it's like, are you ready? Because there's a portal being opened right now. You have it going right now. There it is. I love it. I feel like let's just grab a couple tea leaves just to close this out. Oh, okay. Slippery energy. So here's some work. Here's a little bit of homework or some work involved, because these are not just coming to you effortlessly. We have the unicorn. Use your intuition to make beneficial changes. Again, you can almost envision your career as this room. Maybe there's some dust, maybe there's some whatever. You're just going in and creating this like cleaning vortex to just clear it out of anything. Again, not clean it so much that it's sterile, but clear it of any dust, debris, just detritus that doesn't need to be there. to where you can then decorate it and vibe it up with the colors and, aesthetic and whatever that really works for you. Stepping into a new experience with the leg card. And funny because we've got all these like vines coming up. I almost read them like spikes. And he's barefoot here. So it's like, be careful. But this is you knowing exactly where to step so you don't make a wrong decision or step into a wrong experience. You're already very well aware of the experience you want to step into. And then we have skull. Hidden secrets can harm you. And again, this just feels like that amorphous just blockage energy that, you're not the only one that's, you want it. You have this passion in your heart and you go to do it and then blockage and then reroute and then, oh, didn't plan for that, but now it's happening. And oh, didn't want to be out of work for a year, but there we are. Again, this is just those hidden forces, those principalities that just are on their way out. Literally, you got to put the skull in the casket. These principalities, these controllers, this matrix, this false matrix are on their way out. That is what's going out of your life to end the situation of unemployment. You can't make that up. And then egg. So there's a good egg cleanse here. I mean, you can't go wrong with the symbolism. Success assured with good plans and hard work. Well, you've already had some really hard work put in, pounding the pavement, knowing where to step, where to apply, what to do. And now this is just about making those plans, envisioning yourself in this workspace or that workspace or what that would look like for you. And then that will start to pull those opportunities to you to where you're now in the driver's seat, deciding what opportunity I'm choosing rather than hoping and praying that they choose you. Pick me, choose me, love me. What movie was that on? I can't think of it. I can't even think of the actress that said that. It's relevant, so I'm going to look it up. Why is that coming up? Choose me. I accidentally wrote lick me. Pick me. Love me. Grey's Anatomy. Yes. It wasn't a movie. It was a show. Let's just listen to this 1 minute, 13-second thing and just see. She lied.
I'm not out of this relationship.
She's not out of this relationship. She's
I'm
in.
so in, it's humiliating.
She's so in, it's humiliating.
Here I am.
Because here she is begging. And then he tried to interrupt her and she said, shut up. And then she said, and I yell, remember? Okay. Here it is. Your choice. It's simple. Her or me. And this is you as the candidate, but obviously you're what's the word? Transcending this energy. Where maybe before you're like, I'm worried they're going to choose that other, her or me. Again, this is not in the love life context, but in the context of this job, right? Or this potential career candidate.
Sure, she's really great.
Let's just see.
But Derek, I love you. In a really, really big, pretend to like your taste in music. Let you eat the last piece of cheesecake. Hold a radio over my head outside your window.
Throw back to the 80s.
Way that makes me hate you. Love you. So pick me. Choose me. Love me.
But again, you're flipping the script to where you maybe were in this Meredith position. Now you're in the McDreamy, Steamy, whatever his name is. McDreamy. He's dreamy. Other one's steamy. Right. Okay. I think. Okay. So you're flipping the script to, it's almost like you're embodying, because weirdly enough, even though she's the female in that dynamic and he's the masculine, their roles are kind of flipped because it's the masculine that gets chosen by the feminine, not the other way around. In nature, look at all these colorful male birds doing all these intricate dances to get the female's attention, so they pick him. Because women are like the gatekeepers to creation, to fertility. If a woman's not down for, obviously there could be forced situations, but if a woman's not down for it, that divine portal isn't going to open. So you're flipping the script, even though but in this instance, you're putting yourself back into the feminine energy of, I know what I want, I know what I deserve, and I'm damn well gonna receive it. I'm not gonna beg, I'm not gonna plead because I know my worth. And that's you getting back into your worth. Yeah. Yeah, you've been feeling an egg cleanse. Love it. Well, it's cool. My sister just brought me 2 dozen or 18 eggs from her, or maybe it's 24, from her chickens. She just brought them to me with some sourdough starter in a jar right before I started the live stream today, like literally 2 minutes before. That's why I was out of breath when I got here and coughed and had to, do my whole water thing. Maybe I could also help with that, facilitate an egg cleanse, since I just got all those eggs literally gifted to me right before the live stream. Let me know. You can text me. All right. Well, let me just double check that we're all caught up on donations today. And then I might go have some lunch. My stomach's actually growling for the first time in a while. Yep, we are caught up on donations. Well, you guys, this was a fun live stream. Like, I mean, we have fun live streams all the time, but like this one took it to another level. We're back, baby. We're so back. Starting out 2026 with a bang. I just felt kind of bad or off, maybe a little bit. Not bad, like personally bad, but like feel like I dropped the ball when I can't go live when I'm scheduled to go live, which is every Wednesday and every Friday. And then, holidays happen or kids are sick or Halloween parades or whatever happens. And then I have to, cancel, or if I get a migraine or I'm ill or whatever. And then I just feel bad because I'm like, I want to be there. I want to be here. Like, this is my happy place. I love you guys. And I love connecting with you and just sharing in this cosmic mystery of what's next. And just the dumpster fire of what's actually going on out there. And then like the truth of it all, that there is no dumpster, there is no fire. As far as like the 3D realm goes, like we are more in control and more in power than we give ourselves credit for. We really are. How about before I go? This was powerful, and Brianna loves an egg cleanse as well. Before I go, let's just pull all of us that are still watching. This is just a little treat for those of you who held on this long and that are still here. There's still 5 of you watching. The Animal Apothecary. Let's get a very personalized message for those of us watching now, or if you're watching later, but you're hearing my words at this now moment for you, this is your message if you want to claim it. So here we go. What do we need to know, those of us watching now and on the replay? We have magnetism through gratitude. And I was just like, oh, I love being here. Yeah. So this is about finding those things that you're grateful for and really leaning into that, or really showing that gratitude to the people, the places, the things, all the nouns, and then doing the verbs of showing the gratitude, right? Magnetism through gratitude. And we have the turkey spirit here. And for at least a lot of the Western world, they have like a Thanksgiving. It may not always be like in November like it is here in the States. I think in Canada it's like in October or something. But a lot of times that turkey can represent kind of like Thanksgiving or feeling the gratitude. But again, it's weird because it's kind of like a sacrifice, if you think about it, of the turkey. But we have the number 31. I'm going to actually just read from the guidebook and see. Weird. I opened right up to the horse because we had this card recently with the 28 energy, because 28 is my birthday number. So whoops. And we were the year of the fire horse. So this was either right before the new year, or maybe that was that new year reading we did when we got the horse. Well, we didn't get the horse card, or maybe we did. No, we did get the horse card. But then there was another card I opened to page whatever, even though, and then we read that and it was I think it was shark, something about a shark, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I think I went to page 28. I don't know why this is relevant to bring up the past reading, but maybe it is for some reason. Yeah, phantom shark, the illusion. Yeah. And this is magnetism through gratitude. So we can, even if we have certain things in our life that we haven't achieved, accomplished, manifested yet, it's almost like the illusion is it doesn't exist, because on some timeline in some future now moment, it does exist. So we can be delulu enough to realize we don't just have to be grateful for the things that we currently have, or maybe in the past we had, but the things we want for the future for ourselves, be them material or ways we want to feel or relationships or opportunities or whatever. We can get into that future now moment gratitude to magnetize it to us in a probably future now moment, but eventually it will be a now moment. Yeah, so let's read the 31. Magnetism through gratitude, Turkey. Turkey's medicine comes to speak to us about abundance and prosperity through the virtue of gratitude. When we are thankful for what we currently have, life draws us more things to be grateful for. You are on the verge of super magnetism. Turkey medicine says you draw in dynamic levels of abundance through gratitude. Creating and continuously deepening your practice of gratitude will act like a spark that ignites the charge of your magnetism. What accomplishments you have achieved, what desires have you worked so hard toward that you have manifested? Focus on these achievements and truly appreciate them. A wonderful daily practice is creating a gratitude journal. Take a few moments every day to write down all the things you are grateful for. And right as I did that, I had to like clear my throat because, you know, things. But it's almost like, let me clear my throat so my voice can be heard, you know? To really connect to the feeling of gratitude, try listening to music that moves you deeply while writing in your journal. If you want to take a step further, try gratitude dancing. Oh, that like just intuitive movements, like you just never know what your body's going to do, but just allowing it to maybe feel weird and look weird to if someone like were to accidentally like look in your window as you're doing these like interpretive, intuitive dances, it may look weird to them, but like it feels so good. It might feel awkward at first, but then you get into it. And one of the best ways you can really get your feminine energy moving is just moving your hips, even if it's just in like a circle or a spiral, changing directions, moving them, belly dancing, whatever. And it doesn't have to just be all on the hips either. Let's see what else. Put on music, yeah, that amps you up, move and dance in gratitude and thank the universe for all that you have received and will receive. This is a powerful technique and lots of fun to do with friends too. Your job is to get excited about the generosity of the universe now and start saying thank you. Through this, you will find a new level of fulfillment that will bestow joy in new ways for you. Remember to make sure to include gratitude about the unknown in your practices too. Yeah, like that unknown future of, ooh, the what ifs, the could be's of the future potentially. And or just any good surprises that need to come in that maybe you're blocking because you're not aware that they exist, you know? Turkey medicine comes when something special and profound is being conjured up in the universe for you to receive. Discipline, your gratitude practice to get ready for your magnetism to ignite. I love it. All right, well, we're going to end it there. Yes, that was so fun. I love it. So hopefully that message resonated for the 5 of you and potentially those watching the replay that want to claim that message. Feel free. It's there for the taking. And just because you take it doesn't mean others can't also benefit, because the true universe, the true divine reality is pure abundance. There's never not enough in the pure, true matrix of this reality. But the false matrix, it's all infused with lack. So yes, that was another mic drop. I love it. Mic drop moments just don't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. But hopefully we can keep this beautiful energy. We'll just keep riding the wave of this beautiful life force energy into Friday. So Friday, we're going to do a cosmic question corner. So maybe your homework can be to just think of some like mystery of the universe, or even just asking like what's to come, you know, for humanity, or whatever cosmic question you have. I mean, those of you that are here, you've heard enough cosmic questions or been experienced in enough cosmic questions, you kind of know what we ask here. But you think outside the box, you know, whatever, and bring those questions on Friday and we can write down some new ones. And then of course we'll draw our new one to read on. And sometimes if they're like a short and sweet reading, we may do more than one. We've done that a few times, or at least one time that I can recall. Time to go thrifting. I feel a gift is waiting on me. I love that. I love thrifting, and I normally go on Tuesdays with my friend Cindy. I didn't this week because I went on Saturday with her instead. But I always set that intention that there's something really amazing waiting for me that either I was looking for or didn't know I needed. And it's usually in the form of a book, let's be honest. Usually a form of a book. But anyway, have fun with your thrifting. You just never know what treasures await you. And I did read something that you know, women, like kind of the energy of the woman was usually the gatherer. You know, men were not in all tribes, but just kind of just as a universal archetype. The men were the hunters, the women were the gatherers. And, we'd gather herbs and seeds and, maybe we'd find something shiny or a beautiful shell or a beautiful rock. And thrifting is kind of the modern day version of gathering because we never know what we're going to find. And it's just like nature. You never know if you're going to find an antler in nature or a seed for, growing a nice big tree, or like you never know what wait nature has awaiting you. I can talk, I swear. I love that. That is so me too. And yeah, yard sales, thrifting, like I've always been all about that life. And not just because I grow up very frugal and poor, but like it's just legitimately exciting to me. Like it's a huge dopamine rush when you find something you never knew you needed to have, or something that maybe was kind of on your list for a very long time that you thought, oh, if I ever find it in the wild, that'd be cool. And then you find it and it's like, oh my gosh, my whole life is about to change, even if it really doesn't, but like it's exciting. All right, well, I will leave you to your thrifting and all the rest of the fun things that all the rest of you are off to do. I will be back here Friday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. Be there. We're going to get into a cosmic question corner, as I said earlier. And thanks again, you guys, so much for all those likes, comments, shares, subscribes, donations, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see each and every one of you right back here at Harmony Portal Tarot Live. Until next time, peace. Bye.